doesn't have a lot of finesse, a lot of style, but he's tough and he gets the job done. Well, for Dave to get the job done tonight, he must avoid the interceptions. He has 15 on touchdowns. Quite simply, defensively, Seattle must play their very best game of the season if they plan to keep this San Francisco team in check. Now, here's the Juice to tell us about the 49ers.
Well, Joe, I tell you, among the 49ers players, there's a feeling of optimism. They feel since the second half of the Denver game 2 weeks ago, but they're finally playing with the intensity that they played with all of last year. There are two major question marks with this team, though. One, can Freddie Solomon, who was their deep threat last year, provide the big play at 32 years of age? Freddie had 10 touchdown receptions last year. He has none this year. And can Fred Dean still pressure the quarterback? He's only had 2 quarterback sacks this year, but fortunately, one was last week. He had a forced fumble last week. He had a few quarterback pressures last week. And they think if Fred Dean continues to play the way he's played in the past, and this 49er team plays with the intensity that they played with in the past, that they'll win here tonight, that they can win the rest of the season, go into the playoffs, and possibly, with all due respect to the Chicago Bears, go to the Super Bowl. In any event, they got a tough assignment tonight, Frank.
Joe Montana on the sidelines, having a really fine year. But, of course, if you compare it to last year, Super Bowl MVP, a tremendous year. And some of the criticisms and comments that have been made about Joe have absolutely been bizarre. We'll talk about that a little later on. The 49ers will be receiving as we look down on the field. They'll drop Carl Monroe, number 32, back there, along with Derek Harmon, who should see a lot of action tonight for Wendell Tyler. Tyler had a big game a week ago against Kansas City, but he has a very sore knee. Kicking off for Seattle will be Norm Johnson. Of course, a sellout crowd of 61,000 plus here in Candlestick Park. The field is in good shape. It's been raining for the past couple of days, but the field has been covered. And Norm Johnson, he does this with the most frequency in the NFL. Puts it into the end zone and keeps the team to a touchback. And out comes Montana, perhaps the most impressive of his stats into the night. He has had 1 interception in his last 225 attempts. Now that is truly remarkable. He leads the league in fewest interceptions with only 6. And Wendell Tyler will open. Number 26. He had 111 yards a week ago against Kansas City. And of course, back there with him is Roger Craig, having a tremendous year. 719 yards rushing into the night, averaging 5.4 a rush, 64 receptions. Just a remarkable year for Roger Craig, the third-year man from Nebraska. That's Solomon, number 88 on the move. 1st and 10, the 49ers. Wendell Tyler. And Tyler is met over on the left side. Keith Butler was there defensively for the Seattle Seahawks, who are ranked 6th in the AFC after 11 games. They operate from the 3-4, but they'll move Jacob Green around. They're fine pass rushing defensive left end, much as the Raiders move Howie Long around. Kenny Easley, what can you say about him? Arguably the best strong safety in pro football today, number 45. Derek Harmon comes in for Wendell Tyler. 2nd down and 8. Montana tries to go underneath to Derek Harmon, and he is whacked up by Bruce Schultz, the left linebacker for the Seahawks.
I'll tell you, that last pass, it looked to me like Joe had his mind made up where he was going to throw the ball right now. Bruce Schultz was all over the wide receiver that time. Had he caught the ball, he wouldn't have gained any yardage.
3rd down and 8. The specialty players onto the field. And, of course, the defense adjusts accordingly. Dwight Clark is split left by Bill Walsh, and Montana. Solomon up at the top of your screen. Roger Craig, a dangerous receiver out of the backfield. Montana looks downfield, looking in the direction of Freddie Solomon. Incomplete, and the punting unit will come on.
Well, that ball just got away from Joe Montana because Freddie Solomon had his man beat for the 1st down, and the ball just slipped out of Joe's hand.
Yeah, I think you're right on the money that time, O.J. He was wide open. Joe wasn't under pressure. He just flat missed him.
Max Runninger to punt. You're looking at Paul Scansey, and back there with him is Kenny Easley. Runninger, who has not kicked well this year, has a short kick that doesn't turn over, and this is easily. He slips at the 43 and sprawls to the 45-yard line. Good field position for Seattle as Greg Craig comes on to the field. Not having the kind of year that he had a year ago when everything worked for this young man. Less than 50% completions 4 of his last 5 games. But he also leads the NFL with the big plays. He has the most 20-yard plays in the league, primarily to a youngster out on the wing named Darrell Turner, who has 24 receptions and 10 touchdowns. He is explosive. And then there's the great Steve Largent underneath. First down, Seattle. They're at their own 46-yard line, and Craig will put it in the air. He wants Turner right away. Turner had his man beaten. He was behind Dwight Hicks, who, of course, has been moved for free safety to the left corner, but Turner was there. Craig didn't get it there.
Well, two things you've seen right away. One, the surface of this field is quite slick, and another thing is that they're going to test Dwight Hicks. One thing that we learned about Darrell Turner is that he can get up on his cornerback as quick as any receiver in football, and Dwight Hicks will have to give him a lot of room here tonight. It should open it up underneath for short passes on Hicks' side of the field.
Hicks was a Pro Bowl free safety, a great one a year ago. He has been an ordinary cornerback. Ronnie Lott was a great cornerback, and he could turn into be a great free safety. It's second down and 10. Craig puts it out to Warner. And Kurt Warner stepping out of bounds, but not until he picks up first down yardage inside the 44-yard line of the 49ers.
And you have to wonder what your linebacker Todd Shell was thinking of that time. Kurt put a little move down and faked Todd completely out of position. And Todd allowed Warner to get outside and get the first down. And in that case, Todd's responsibility would be to turn Warner back in where the pursuit was coming from.
Warner over 800 yards rushing this year, coming off that severe knee injury that cost him all of last season. He loves the natural surface. He had 169 yards against San Diego on it. He had 136 against Denver on natural surface. So he likes to run on the grass. Warner. And cut off from inside. Warner up for a gain of about 3 yards before Michael Carter moves out there from nose tackle to make the stop. Make it a 2-yard pickup. It'll be second down and 8.
And I asked Chuck Knox today how he was going to attack this San Francisco 49er defense, and Chuck's one of those basic football philosophy type guys. We have to get the ground game going. Well, I said, Chuck, you know, Warner only has a 3.9 average. That's not very good. Chuck says he can get the ground game going. It's going to open up everything for the passing game. So I look for him to try to run the ball at San Francisco a pretty good bit.
Second down and 8. The ball inside the 43-yard line of the 49ers. Craig with a lot of time, and he threw into a lot of traffic. He had Turner working one-on-one with Dwight Hicks. He chose to go underneath to Charlie Young. Williamson was there. The linebacker, Keena Turner, was there.
And that's part of the problem Craig's been having this season. He's thrown into coverage sometimes. You have 3 defensive players covering Charlie Young. Someone else on the other side of the field had to be one-on-one. And again, this is a problem Dave's been having this season. He's been misreading the defenses.
All right, let's take a look at number 74, Fred Dean. He'll be playing at the top of your screen, the 49ers. Let's see if Dean can provide that pass rush he provided for the world champions last year.
Only 2 sacks, however, this year for Fred Dean. He had one big one that opened the game against Kansas City a week ago. Third and 8. Wide open. And in and out of the hands of Myron Franklin. Craig had it there. Franklin was open. He just didn't handle it. That was 6 points.
Yeah, I don't think he saw the ball until it was on him. I don't know whether he could have lost it in the lights or what, or he wasn't expecting it that early, but that was a good pass. That should have been 6.
Dave Finzer on to punt for Seattle. Dana McLemore not having his typical year, averaging only 7.5 on returns this season. In previous years, the 3 previous years he's played, he's returned at least 1 punt for a touchdown. Bad kick by Finzer off the side of his foot, but McLemore will field it at the 8. And good movement by McLemore. He gets out close to the 11-yard line. So the 49ers bring the offensive unit out for their second possession of the night. We did not do the sign, but it certainly expresses the feelings of all of us here at ABC, and of course the millions who watched the injury to Joe Theismann a week ago. And we'll be talking to Joe Theismann at halftime about his future and about the past week. First and 10, the 49ers on the field. We're in the first quarter. If you just joined us, 12:45 remaining. The Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers, and there is no score. Roger Craig, right side, and Roger Craig hit from behind by Keith Butler in pursuit.
Well, that's good defense right there. San Francisco came out with a 2 tight end to line up that time and left Dwight Clark off the field. Obviously, they're trying to run the ball at him some, but Seattle's defense rose to the occasion.
Craig got back to the line of scrimmage. That was about it. He perhaps squeaked half a yard out of it. It'll be second down and long. The third wide receiver is in. That's Jerry Rice, the rookie from Mississippi Valley State. A first-round draft pick for these 49ers. You saw the movement, and the flags are down. Montana gets outside of Jacob Green, tries to go upfield with it. Tries to work it to Rice, but again, flags are down on the line of scrimmage. And then there was a late flag that was thrown. Our referee tonight is Bob McElwee rather. Preliminary indication, and this perhaps a discussion about that late flag that was dropped.
Offside, number 79, defense, still second down.
A simple offside. That will be marked off. The down will remain the same.
We were talking about the condition of the field. Actually, this is the worst part of the field because this is the infield of the old baseball diamond. Until you get to the 40-yard line, this part of the field is particularly bad. I've seen 6 players fall in the warm-ups right in this area.
Second down and 5. The 49ers at their 22-yard line. Montana tried to get it to Dwight Clark. There was a roll zone, and Montana put it out of bounds. And Joe Montana has gone through rather a hellish couple of weeks. There have been rumors, bizarre rumors, if you will, that have been flying all over the Bay Area for several weeks. Finally, and this is the state of sports today, I guess, Bill Walsh went public a week ago last Wednesday denying any drug allegations. There were bizarre stories about arrests here and arrests there. None of them were true. And then Joe himself had to go before the public and say, no, not me. But it is quite a statement on the state of sports today. Third down and 5. Underneath to Roger Craig. And Craig struggling to get the first down yardage, and I believe he'll just be short of it out over the 25-yard line. Great gains defensively there for Seattle, and it may be close enough for the measurement.
As you can see, Craig, he's kind of hiding in the pack, and he's trying to run across the field. Now, this is a great play by Greg Gaines. When you look at a back like Roger Craig is averaging over 10 yards a reception. Normally, a back will average about 6 or 7 yards a reception, and Craig made a great play, but it looks like Roger Craig stretched for the first down.
You heard the roar, and he got it by about an inch. What a year he is having. After 11 games, the game of last week, Roger Craig and Marcus Allen were tied at total yards from scrimmage. Incredibly, at 1,476 yards. Marcus Allen had 222 yards rushing and receiving yesterday. So Craig will be hard put to get back with Marcus Allen tonight. On first down, Montana. He can scramble with the best of them. Lays it up for Craig and off his fingertips, and he had an open field in front of him. That'll bring up second down and 10.
Hey, that was good defense that time. As you saw, Joe was trying to get the ball down the right side of the field. They were covered. He came back and just missed Craig. There were times that Joe put a little more touch on that ball and drop it right into Craig, but he's not having the night that he'd like to have so far.
Ball marked just inside the 26-yard line. Montana is 1 of 5 for 4 yards. 2 weeks ago against Denver, Montana had a terrible night, but came back last week and was superb against Kansas City. Second and 10, and it's picked off. Dave Brown, the veteran allocation.
Got to give Dave Brown a lot of credit. He's voted for the 3rd year in a row defensive captain by his teammates with a defense that had Kenny Easley playing in it.
Eric Lane had no game. It'll be second down and 10. Kurt Warner juking, looking for an opening. Nothing was there. Warner gets 3. It'll be third down and 7. Jeff Stover made the stop.
You know, Chuck Knox is one of the more patient coaches in the league when it comes to the running game. It looks like the running game's not going to do much so far tonight, but Chuck will stick with it.
It's surprising, Joe, because the Seahawks are getting away with some unusually big splits in the offensive line, but what's happening right now is Michael Carter is doing a job on Blair Bush in the middle.
3rd and 7. Shotgun for Seattle. Craig overthrows and is picked off. Carlton Williamson has a blocker in front of him. McLemore is in front of Williamson. Williamson to the 5-yard line of Seattle.
And what a play did Dave Craig make on that.
Let's look at it again. Craig had Largent open. He overthrew it in and out of his hands, and it was picked off. Williamson brings it back, and Craig, as you said, O.J., made a great play. McLemore was blocking in front. Craig managed to stay on his feet, get through the block, a diving tackle, but the 49ers have a first down goal to go inside the 6-yard line. Roger Craig got a block by Tyler, cut back inside, but the pursuit was there. Works it to the 5-yard line. It'll be second down goal to go. Jeff Bryant in on that stop for Seattle.
Well, thus far on every run that the 49ers have attempted, Seattle has gotten some good penetration by their defensive ends.
Yeah, but you know, San Francisco hasn't tried to run up the middle once yet. You'd think they'd try and hit the middle of that line.
Yeah, I would think so. Test it anyway.
Time remaining in the first quarter. We have no score. A pair of turnovers. Seattle got one, but they turned it right back over to the 49ers, and they are down there threatening. Montana with a pump fake. Fires into the end zone. That's picked off by John Harris. I believe Russ Francis was the intended receiver. And a great effort by Carlton Williamson comes to naught as John Harris gets his 6th interception of the season.
Well, this is one of those times Joe thought Russ was going to zig when he should have zagged. He thought he was going to turn around a little earlier, and he wasn't ready for the ball.
So quickly, we have 3 turnovers. No points out of any of them. We'll be right back. Dave Craig, 1 of 5. 2 of the game's finer quarterbacks of a year ago. Montana and Dave Craig struggling here tonight in the early going. No score, 8:53 remaining in the first quarter. Seattle 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Movement, and it did appear to be Charlie Young, the tight end, up at the top of your screen.
A little sloppy down there. But you know, I'm looking at these quarterbacks firing these interceptions.
Ball start, number 87, Puffin.
And missing their receivers, and I can't quite understand it because the weather conditions are ideal. The wind is nil, the temperature's fine, there isn't any moisture on the field, so I can't quite pinpoint why they're missing. But they definitely are missing.
It is a beautiful night. There was nearly 3 inches of rain here yesterday. The field was covered, however, and it's in good shape as they mark off the penalty. 49ers unable to practice here yesterday, and they anticipated a major parking problem around the area here tonight because parking lots were flooded, and there was a combination that somehow gave up the interception in the end zone a few moments ago. First down 15 now for Seattle. They move from their own 15-yard line. Eric Lane, and Lane gets out over the 25 to the 27, gets a lot of it back. It'll be second down and 3 as Ronnie Lott is there defensively for the 49ers.
Eric Lane is normally a special team player for this team. He's the captain of the special team, even though Freddie Young went to the Pro Bowl last year as a special team player for the Seahawks. His uncle is MacArthur Lane, and the players really like Eric Lane. They say he gives everything that he has, much like his uncle used to do.
They've started a different fullback in the past 4 or 5 games. Dan Dornick injured a knee. He's unable to go. But Warner's hit, drops the ball, but he covers it quickly. He was really pounded by Michael Carter. And we saw Ron Brown, you see him at halftime, the gold medalist from our 4x100 relay team of a summer ago, run back a couple of kickoffs yesterday for the Rams. Well, Michael Carter took a silver medal in the '84 Olympics in the shot put, and he has turned into one fine nose tackle. 3rd down and 5. The 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks, 6-5 teams. They are getting in desperate trouble late in the season. We have no score from Candlestick Park. They really need this game, both ball clubs. As Craig misses Byron Walker. And Craig now having a tough night. Not the Craig we watched a year ago, I can tell you that for sure.
Joe, you were saying there's nothing wrong with the conditions. I've never seen 2 quarterbacks this good play this bad ever.
Yeah, you know, earlier I made a statement about not knowing why the interceptions have come about, but I really do with the last couple of them. I'll explain it later on. But I think Craig is pressing definitely. When you start off as badly as he has, quarterbacks sometimes have a tendency to press, and that's what he's doing.
Off the side of Finzer's foot. McLemore gets it through the legs. McLemore saying he didn't touch it. And they are saying he did. It went right between his legs. Keith Butler, you cannot advance it. That would be ruled a muff. He'll bring it back. And that is the old muff rule coming into effect. They'll bring it back. McLemore tried to fake it. It went between his legs. I think he knew he couldn't get it, so he tried to make it look like he didn't touch it. The official right on top of it. And another turnover, and if this is not the sloppiest thing we have seen this year, it is right up there with the best of them. It's certainly in one of the top 10. Let's watch again. It goes right between his legs. And it had to touch something there. And covered by Keith Butler. So the Seahawks have the football at the 49ers 29-yard line. First down. Craig will try to get to Largent. And throwing over the linebacker. Largent had a little bit of an opening, but Todd Shell had dropped right in front of him. And Eric Wright was there for the coverage. What a year Steve Largent is having. 55 receptions, the 8th consecutive, not consecutive, but the 8th season he has gone over 50 receptions in a season. That's an NFL record. What do you think about Craig, Joe?
I think he's pressing. Some quarterbacks have enough confidence and style not to press when they get off to a slow start. Obviously, Dave doesn't. He's pressing right now.
2nd down and 10. Comes the blitz, is picked up. But Kurt Warner works on the left side for only a couple.
A very unusual defensive alignment by the 49ers. They had Fred Dean line up at defensive tackle. Now, Fred weighs about 230 pounds, a little light to be in there. And he rushed right up the middle as well as the middle backer rushed right behind Fred Dean.
3rd down and 7. Scansey is in, a wide receiver for Seattle. Byron Walker, number 89, Steve Largent, and Darrell Turner. The 4 wide receivers are in for Dave Craig. Long count. Blitz is on. Craig tried to time it out with Largent. He was under pressure. The blitz was right in his face. He laid it up there, I think, just hopefully that he and Largent were going to be running the same zig-out pattern.
Well, I don't think Largent saw the safety blitz. Carlton Williamson came late from the middle of the field, and Largent was running a corner pattern. If Largent had seen the blitz, I believe he would have stayed on his post pattern down the center of the field, and that's what Craig thought.
Norm Johnson, 10 of 18 this year, not kicking as well as he has in previous years. He has a different holder over the past couple of weeks. It is Gail Gilbert, but he lost his favorite holder, Jim Zorn, at the beginning of this season. But this time, Norm Johnson puts it through the uprights, but a flag is down. Again, our referee tonight, Bob McElwee. That was from 44 yards out. Waiting still for the definitive word.
If they hit the kicker and it's a personal foul, it could be a first down.
Running into the kicker, number 20, defense, 5 yards, automatic first down.
Torrey Nixon. Let's take a look at it. Coming at the bottom of your screen, number 20. And he just could not hold up on that. When you're taking that angle, it's very difficult. Now, do you give up the 3 points to get the first down at the 22-yard line? Well, Chuck Knox says, yeah, we'll give it up.
I think you do at this early in the game against the 49ers. If you think you're a championship caliber team, you should feel that your offense will not give the ball up again.
The 3 points could have been on the scoreboard. We'll see what happens. First and 10, Seattle. Inside the 22 of the 49ers, and this is Kurt Warner. Flag is down. Warner spinning and twisting and bouncing off tacklers down close to the 18-yard line. And the illegal motion will bring it back.
Yeah, Edwin Bailey, that left guard, he was so intent on getting out there and leading the play. I believe he moved a hair too soon. Boy, that nullifies a heck of a run by Warner.
Number 65, offense, still first down.
It was Edwin Bailey. The down will remain the same, but an 8-yard pickup by Warner is negated. It'll be first and 15. San Francisco tonight will be in Miami a week from tonight. That should be interesting there. Something's going to give. The Bears are 0-8 on the road in Monday Night Football. And the Dolphins have won 17 of their last 18 regular season games at the Orange Bowl. The undefeated Bears against the Miami Dolphins. Looking forward to that one.
Oh, yeah, I want to see how Dan Marino handles that blitz. Dan is one man that can do it.
They've only allowed 13 sacks, the Miami Dolphins offensive line. Bears will try to realign that. First and 15. And down goes Lane. Hit at the line of scrimmage, might even lose a yard. It'll be second down and 16. And again, it was Michael Carter.
Maybe they should have kept the 3 points. At this rate, they're going to end up on the 50 and have to punt.
Saw a moment ago that Chuck Knox took 3 different teams to playoffs. The only coach who's ever done that. He has also been coach of the year 4 times. He was coach of the year with the Rams, coach of the year with Buffalo. He was coach of the year the past 2 years with the Seahawks. A remarkable coaching record. Second down and about 16 as Warner goes in motion. Craig slips. He gains his balance, but he has just smothered Jeff Stover, and a pair of his friends were there, including Gary Johnson.
Boy, the 49ers got away with a lot on that play. They had Kurt Warner in motion. He had one-on-one with a middle linebacker, Michael Walter. And it's unusual to see an all-pro, Carlton Williamson, not on the football field on third down.
And third, extremely long yardage, about 18. And now you must wonder about giving up those 3 points. Hard to take points off the scoreboard, particularly from a 44-yard field goal. From the shotgun. Craig tried to get it to Largent. He wanted to go first to Scansey. Then he tried to look deep to Turner. He had a lot of time. Incomplete. And Norm Johnson comes back on.
And I know Craig, what he's going through right now, and his teammates, I see him on the sideline over there, they're just encouraging Dave right now. They know he's having a rough start, but he's the man that got him to the playoffs the last couple of years, and if they're going to get there this year, it's up to him to have a better game.
49-yard attempt. Norm Johnson's career best is 54 yards. There is no wind. No chance. And the 49er fans will love this one. They took 3 points off the scoreboard when they got a first down penalty after they had made a 44-yarder. They missed from 49. It's been a very strange football game when so much is on the line for both the 49ers and Seattle. They are 6-5, both these ball clubs. They have teams ahead of them they are chasing. The Rams are 9-3 in the 49ers division. The Raiders and Denver are 8-4 in the AFC West of Seattle. That's Roger Craig, who works to the 35-yard line for a gain of 4. And we'd like to say hello to all of our friends down in Australia watching tonight's game tomorrow on Channel 10.
Hello down there. Say, by the way, Juice, that's the first time they ran up the middle. Got some yardage, too. I think they ought to keep working the middle rather than trying to run around the end.
That figured to be the strength of their offensive line. Ayers, Quillen, and Cross.
2nd down and 6. Russ Francis, the tight end, is split far to the left. And Wendell Tyler with a big opening. And he's close to a first down. He'll have it out over the 41-yard line or very close to it.
You ever think about going into coaching, Joe?
And you know what's going to happen. We keep getting yardage, or San Francisco keeps getting yardage up the middle. That's going to open up the outside because these defensive linemen and linebackers are going to start paying more attention to the center.
Both Tyler and Craig averaging over 5 yards a carry. Tyler had 111 yards against Kansas City last Sunday after missing the Denver game the prior week. They try Craig again, or rather Tyler. And he works to the 47-yard line, a gain of a couple. Give him 3 to bring up 2nd down and 7.
It appears as if, as I said, this surface is quite slick here, and they may be trying to give Largent some longer cleats. Once again, that may be good for his traction, but the last thing you want to do is get hit when you have those long cleats planted. It could be a knee injury.
No score. Candlestick Park, 2:55, and the clock is moving, remaining in the first quarter. 2nd down and 7. Tyler in motion. Montana. And he hook slides up at the 48-yard line, short of the first down by 3. It'll be 3rd and 3. We want to tell you about a good one coming your way live at 3 o'clock Eastern time this Saturday on CFA College Football. The 50th meeting between Southern rivals. Heisman Trophy hopeful Bo Jackson and 7th-ranked Auburn will take on Alabama and quarterback Mike Shula. And our CFA coverage begins live at 3 o'clock Eastern with college football today. That's Saturday.
That's sure going to be a battle for the bragging rights of the state. Plus, it means a lot for recruiting. And I tell you, Alabama still has a chance to win that SEC championship.
Well, the 49ers better get this ball snapped. They had a little trouble getting the play.
They'll have to call timeout or they're going to lose 5. Well, they're right on the 0, but there are no flags as Tyler gets to the line of scrimmage. And it'll bring up 4th down. That 30-second clock had ticked off its final second.
And that one would be blamed on the sideline because Joe Montana had a lot of trouble either understanding the signal from the sideline or getting the right call from the sideline.
Runninger to punt, and you're looking at Paul Scansey. Beautiful punt by Runninger. Scansey at the 11-yard line. The coverage is good, and Scansey is buried at the 15-yard line. A flag is down at the line of scrimmage. Options being discussed. Bob McElwee is there. Here's his report.
Holding, number 24 offense. 21 on defense, IPW. Illegal block, 21 defense. Penalties, decline. Penalties offset, replay the down.
That goes with the rest of the game we've watched thus far this evening. Penalty on both sides. They'll bring it back, kick it over again. They've had 5 turnovers. 4 turnovers, rather. 2 interceptions from San Francisco. They fumbled the ball once. And Seattle has given up the 1 interception.
Now, that was just a bad pass by Dave Craig, but the 2 interceptions by Montana, actually one was caused by Jacob Green, the defensive end, and the other, Montana and Russ Francis just went together.
Runninger will do it over again. And he pounds another beauty. Scansey lets it bounce, and it takes a Seahawk bounce through the end zone. And Seattle will have a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. A punt of 52 yards, a net of 32. We'll be right back. Dave Craig, 1 of 9 for 10 yards, 1 interception. It's been a tough night. Both quarterbacks very ineffectual. 1st and 10, Seattle at their own 20-yard line. Craig hands off to Eric Lane, and he works up close to the 24-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Ricky Ellison defensively there for the 49ers.
Tell you, when you're a quarterback having a game like this, what's good is if you have decent teammates on your side to start with, because they can sympathize with you a bit. They know what you're capable of, and they just keep trying to encourage you. Come on, Dave, do the job. They know he can do it.
They also know that Dave Craig, quarterback to 12-4 season a year ago. He's been the quarterback into the playoffs for the Seahawks the past 2 years. He'll get it on track if Kurt Warner works. They'll mark it over the 30-yard line, and that will be a Seattle first down. And it would appear that Chuck Knox is going back to the basics until we can settle things down. It's not a bad thing to do, particularly if you're Chuck Knox. And Joe, I know you know him. He was your coach with the Jets. When you get in trouble, things are going kind of crazy. Well, don't compound it. Settle down. Do the things you can do. That's a first down here and there.
One of the great reasons, or one of the reasons for Chuck's great success, actually, I played under him over at the Los Angeles Rams, too, and he really is a player's coach. He understands the game of football. He was a player once, and he just tries to encourage his players. He doesn't rip them down.
The end of the first quarter, and it's the first quarter. I'm sure you would not like to have videotaped. We'll be back. Combined offense of the 49ers and the Seahawks, 62 yards. San Francisco has squeezed out 26 yards. Seattle 36. These two teams both 6-5. Seattle in the AFC West is chasing Denver and the Raiders. They are both at 8-4. A win tonight for Seattle. And the Seahawks will move to within 1. And they know they have the Raiders and Denver remaining on their 4-game schedule. The 49ers trail the Rams 9-3. A win tonight, and they still will be 2 behind the Rams in their NFC West. We begin the second quarter. 1st and 10, the Seahawks at their own 30-yard line. Kurt Warner. And Warner, gain of about 3. Heading out to about the 33-yard line. Carlton Williamson chased him out of bounds there.
I tell you, you really can see a difference in Kurt on grass and AstroTurf. Frank mentioned earlier, Kurt has 200-yard games on grass on the only 2 games they played on grass this year. He seems quicker on grass for some reason. He seems to work a lot harder on AstroTurf to make a move. I think all backs would prefer to play on natural grass.
2nd down and 7. Warner over the 35 to the 37. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Warner, of course, exploded onto the NFC scene as a rookie in '83 with nearly 1,500 yards rushing. The opening game a year ago, knee damage, reconstruction surgery, and has really got it all back together. He's been playing on a very sore ankle for the past few weeks, but he appears to be all together tonight. They mark it inside the 37, so it's 3rd down and 4. 4 wide receivers in for the Seahawks. Craig, I don't know who he had in mind. There was not a Seahawk within 5 yards of that pass.
And he didn't have to throw the ball. He wasn't under a great deal of pressure. I don't understand what kind of pass that was other than a poorly thrown one.
I wonder if maybe he saw the Seahawks standing on the sidelines and thought that he was the open man. I don't know. Or maybe 81. That, of course.
Well, Darrell Turner could have had
Darrell Turner could have messed him up. In any event, it's 4th down, and Fensler will have to punt. Lots of pressure on Fensler, but he gets it away. McLemore for the 49ers at the 27. And he works to the 33-yard line before he's dropped by Shelton Robinson. A punt of 36 yards. We'll be right back.
On October 29, 1984, when Seattle shut out San Diego 24-0 on Monday Night Football, the Seahawks' Kenny Easley set a team record with 3 interceptions.
Candlestick Park. We have 13:59 remaining in the first half. We have no score. We've had several scoring opportunities. Dave Craig has had receivers open for touchdown possibilities. Carlton Williamson picked off a Dave Craig pass and took it all the way to the 7-yard line. And then Montana turned it over with an interception in the end zone. Not one of your artistic successes thus far, but we're talking about 2 quality quarterbacks. Montana, the Super Bowl MVP only last January. Craig threw 32 touchdown passes a year ago. Only Marino was better than that. 49ers, 1st and 10. Montana, and he underthrows Dwight Clark. I'll tell you, Joe, when it goes wrong, does it compound itself?
Absolutely. And again, I'm surprised to see Montana looking like he's pressing a bit, but that last pass certainly was an indication of that. Dave Craig, well, again, I'm not that surprised. He's had some rough games this season. He's been, as we mentioned earlier, kind of a Jekyll and Hyde quarterback.
2nd down and 10. The 49ers inside their own 34-yard line. There's so much at stake in this game. Both teams playing totally inept. That time, Craig gets good yardage out close to the 40-yard line. He'll get 6 out of that to bring up 3rd down and 4.
Well, you know what? If these quarterbacks could continue to perform this way for another quarter or so, I would think San Francisco would make a switch. I wouldn't think Walsh would hesitate much longer with putting Cavanaugh in the game, because Cavanaugh is an excellent backup quarterback, maybe the best in the game. On the other hand, Seattle has a young man, a rookie, and I don't think Coach Knox will make the change.
3rd down and 4. Seattle. They show the blitz and they get out of it. Montana. Craig is wide open. A good play by Montana. That's the Montana we know. He had the pass rush pressure, looked quickly downfield, spotted Craig. He was wide open, as he is so frequently out of the backfield. There is pressure coming. Montana will step away from it. He looks all over the field. He finally spots Craig. Good move by Craig. He beats the linebacker. Greg Gaines gets the 1st down at the 27-yard line, and that's more like the Montana that we have watched over the years.
And I'm sure Joe thanked his offensive line for giving him that much time.
Wendell Tyler in the game.
Got him.
Montana has Solomon, and Solomon's in the end zone. Freddie Solomon's first touchdown of the season. He beats John Harris. 6 points on 2 consecutive completions. And Montana, I think, still looking a little upset with the way things have gone thus far. But he puts the 49ers on the scoreboard. Freddie Solomon, O.J., gets the touchdown. I know, you know, he really wanted.
He needed it real bad. As you can see, Terry Taylor came up. He was supposed to bump him to give his cornerback, John Harris, time to get there. He didn't bump him. Freddie eluded him, got open, and now he's tied with William the Refrigerator Perry for 1 touchdown reception on the season.
All right, Ray Wershing for the conversion. So on 2 consecutive Montana completions, the 49ers put the first points on the scoreboard here in San Francisco. They lead Seattle 7-0, and we'll be right back. 2 of those 3 completions were consecutive, and Montana found Freddie Solomon in the end zone. Wershing the kickoff. Randall Morris is back along with Scansey for Seattle. It'll be Paul Scansey. And the former Steeler moves from the 10-yard line. Big opening. And Scansey gets out close to the 35-yard line. We're going to pause 5 seconds and allow our stations along the line to identify themselves.
KGO-TV, Channel 7, serving the Bay Area.
The 49ers lead the Seattle Seahawks 7-0 in a very important game for both teams. The Seahawks 6-5 in the Western Division of the AFC, trailing the Denver Broncos and the Raiders, who are at 8-4. The 49ers trail the Rams with a 6-5 record. The 49ers, the Rams are 9-3. The 49ers desperately need this game, and they lead 7-0 with 12 minutes remaining in the first half. 1st and 10, Seattle at their own 35-yard line. Craig had Largent open. The ball deflected. Batted away by Michael Walter, the linebacker.
Well, Joe, at this rate, Gail Gilbert may get some of his first NFL experience.
You're right. On the last play again, Largent was breaking clean. He was open over the middle, but the pass was one that necessitated a little touch on the ball, not a line drive. Because he threw the ball so low, well, that enabled Michael Walter to get a hand on it.
Dave Craig's last 9 passes have been incomplete. 2nd down and 10. goes down, and Kurt Warner compounds things even more for Dave Craig. And the penalty will work against Seattle. Craig took over the quarterbacking job from Jim Zorn back mid-season of '83. Led the Seahawks to the AFC Championship in '84.
Holding, number 76, offense, still second down.
John Borchardt, who has replaced Ron Essink out of the game because of a groin pull. Borchardt was the lineman who was holding. Craig took the Seahawks to the AFC Championship game, losing to Miami in '83. He took them to the playoffs again last year with a 12-4 season. So he's been there. He is just struggling tonight. Second down and 20. Kurt Warner spins inside. He is caught as he looked for some sort of a gap. Gets about 3 yards out of it, but it leaves Dave Craig in extremely long yardage on third down.
You know, unlike a baseball situation when your pitcher's having a tough time, you know, you can go to the bullpen and bring someone else in. This football game here in the NFL, these backup quarterbacks don't get much of a chance to practice, and Seattle really, well, they have an inexperienced young man behind Craig.
Third down, 17. Craig gets the ball to Turner, but he's short of first down yardage. Hit out close to the 41-yard line by Carlton Williamson, and the Seahawks must punt again. And now a 49er ovation from the partisan crowd for the defensive unit.
49ers had an interesting defensive alignment there. They kept Fred Dean and Gary Big Hands Johnson on the sideline and only rushed 3 men.
Dave Fenzer to punt. There's Dana McLemore. Not having, as I mentioned earlier, a McLemore year, one of the fine return men in this game. Earlier, he mishandled the ball and gave Seattle an opportunity that they didn't capitalize upon. Here comes McLemore. Tries to get inside and nailed from behind at the 30-yard line. 39-yard punt. McLemore got a 10-yard return before John Kaiser and Shelton Robinson made the stop.
Robinson made the tackle.
Well, I guess it's the full moon, but they're out in force. 49er fans. Over the next few years, Candlestick Park will have $30 million pumped into it as they expand to some 70,000 seats. Luxury boxes, all the trappings. But they're still having problems with their baseball team. Montana wanted to go deep, checks it off, gets to Russ Francis, and Francis will have a first down out at the 45-yard line for the 49ers. 3 consecutive completions now by Montana. Russ Francis having a good year, even though he was troubled a little earlier with a pinched nerve in the neck that kept him out of a lot of action a year ago. That was Russ's 30th reception on the season. 49ers first down at their 45-yard line. Roger Craig. And Craig is dropped after a gain of a couple.
Wendell Tyler dropped by Schultz.
Wendell Tyler, rather. Bruce Schultz defensively there for Seattle.
I was wondering how many times Wendell Tyler would handle the ball here. You know, he has a history of fumbling the football, and when you think about this Seahawk defense, they're a team that likes to tackle the ball. So I didn't think Wendell would handle the ball too much in this game tonight. Thus far, he has.
Second down and 8. 49ers from their 47-yard line. Montana throws underneath. This is Jerry Rice. And Rice, the rookie from Mississippi Valley State, goes down at the 25. A flag flies immediately, and we could have a face mask.
That was an interesting pattern. Rice was going to go under Roger Craig. They ran into one another. Joe had the time to wait for
5-yard face mask. Defense enforced from the end of the run.
Joe had the time to wait for Rice to clear. He waited and gave him the ball.
Well, Terry, go ahead.
Now watch this, Joe. As you'll see, number 33 gets bumped. Rice, he may not have tried to go underneath him, huh, Joe?
Right, I was going to say Terry Taylor kind of got shielded or picked on that play accidentally that enabled Rice to get open.
The 5 yards on the face mask will give the 49ers a first down near Seattle's 20-yard line. Roger Craig tries to take it outside, runs right into Dave Brown. Hit right at the line of scrimmage.
Good play by Dave. It looked like a good move at the time. I was about to start screaming, what a move by Craig, but Dave Brown was right there hiding in the weeds.
The outside support in the run game by the Seahawks has been excellent thus far.
Second down and 10. Wes Francis again split wide to the right. Bottom of your screen. Montana, and it's picked off. Terry Taylor goes up and takes it away from Mike Wilson.
I'll tell you, I know Joe Montana is a great quarterback. If he had anything to do over on this play, he would plant and throw the football rather than throw it off balance when he didn't have to. It's a bad underthrow, and I know Joe could have gotten the ball out in front had he been planted under control.
Montana came into the night with only 6 interceptions. That's low in the NFL. He's thrown 3 tonight. As we look at Mike Wilson working against Terry Taylor.
Now, you know, on this play, what he was trying to do is try to throw almost an alley-oop pass. He was just trying to get the ball up high because Taylor's only 5'10".
Number 45, defense.
Unsportsmanlike conduct called against the defense. Against number 45, it actually would be the defense because that flag came down very late. That would be Kenny Easley. Now, Bob McElwee gets it straightened out against the offense, and that would be Kenny Easley. They are penalized half the distance to the goal.
Not very much room to work with down here.
There's Kenny Easley. He's one of the more aggressive players in this game, an all-pro, deservedly so.
Well, he just got his quarterback, Dave Craig, a little closer to his own goalpost. It's noisy down there. The closed end, the infield part of Candlestick Park. The crowd is right on top of you. Warner just does get it out of the end zone to avoid the safety. It'll be second down. Second down and 10.
But down here, you've either got to have a great deal of confidence in your offensive line. If you do, you have a chance of throwing the football because you have to have confidence in not getting the safety. Otherwise, you're going to have to stick it at him right up the middle to avoid the safety.
Largent is split left. He'll attract double coverage out there. Now Williamson gets out of it, so Largent is all alone on Eric Wright. They keep it on the ground. And Warner does not get out of the end zone. Safety.
When I say stick it at him, I don't mean running laterally either.
Well, their problem is they must run laterally because Michael Carter is doing such a good job in the center. I was surprised they ran the ball out of the I formation because that means the runner has to come quite a ways before he gets to the line of scrimmage. Look at number 28.
That's John Hardy defensively on the stop. And Kurt Warner was making a lot of dipsy-doos in the backfield. He should have saw the problem ahead and put his head down, at least saved the 2 points. The 49ers lead it 9-0, and they'll get the football back when we return. Following the safety, the team that got the safety puts the ball in play from the 20-yard line. That, of course, the Seattle Seahawks. You can do it either by the punt, and that's what the Seahawks are going to do, or by a place kick. Dave Finzer will punt, however. Dana McLemore is back along with Derek Harmon for the 49ers, and this will count as a kickoff return.
Can you have an onside punt?
Yeah. Finzer hits a beauty. McLemore from the 25-yard line. lowers his head and just bowls his way out over the 40-yard line of the 42, and the 49ers, with a 9-0 lead, have a good field position. There's your I formation, O.J.
I think that's a bad formation to be in the end zone. Watch number 22, Eric Wright. He'll penetrate and he'll catch Lane in the backfield. And when they went outside, I think Kurt thought he was going to have some room outside, and Lane didn't get clear and got blocked in the backfield, and he got caught in the end zone.
Still remaining in the first half, 7 minutes and 11 seconds. The 49ers leading 9-0 now. First and 10 at their own 42-yard line. Montana out of the pocket. And steps out of bounds, short of the first down, but across midfield in Seattle territory at the 49-yard line. A week from tonight, we'll be in Miami. Interesting to note the Chicago Bears are 0-8 on Monday Night Football on the road. The Miami Dolphins have a remarkable record in the Orange Bowl. They have won 17 of the last 18 regular season games they have played at the Orange Bowl. Something's got to give. Marino's offensive line has given up the fewest sacks in the NFL this year. And, of course, the Bears are going to try and crawl all over it. And we'll be there to bring it to you next Monday night. That's Wendell Tyler. Close to the first down.
I know this defensive team of the Seahawks, they're just telling themselves, hang in there, fellas. We know this offense will get going. 9 points. We're not out of this hunt yet. If they can hold San Francisco scoreless here or at the 3 points, they still have a good chance to win this game, and that's what they have to be telling each other. Let's shut them down now. Our offense will come to life.
Tyler short of the first down. I thought they were going to at least measure it. Oh, that'll be received well.
That referee, that man better change his number before he leaves here after moving the ball back.
Third down, it looks to be about a foot. Montana does it himself.
Well, Joe took the pressure off the headlines from that time.
First down, San Francisco. Both these teams have been consistently inconsistent this season. Neither one has lost more than 2 games in a row, but neither team has won more than 2 games in a row. But here they are, still battling for playoff possibilities. Montana. Solomon dueling Terry Taylor. There was contact made close to the 5-yard limit, but it slowed Solomon down, and Montana had laid it up beyond his reach.
Now, Wendell Tyler and Kenny Easley played 1 year together at UCLA. They certainly didn't appear to be friends on that play. When Kenny Easley had a safety blitz on, and he almost killed Wendell Tyler.
All's fair out in that football field, they say.
Second down and 10. 5:42 remaining in the first half. The 49ers over the Seahawks 9-0. Wendell Tyler. Tyler to the 42-yard line of the Seahawks. Gain of 5. It'll be third down and 5.
No, we were talking earlier about Freddie Solomon not making the big play for this 49er team. We saw on that last play that he had his man beat. He was wide open. He was just overthrown. Now, I saw on a number of occasions this year he had his man beat, but the ball just didn't get to him.
Carl Monroe lines up in a sort of stacked flanker at the bottom of your screen. He's number 32, and he'll be wide open. Dwight Clark is also there. Dwight Clark had beaten Terry Taylor. Monroe had beaten his man, and Montana could not get it to Clark.
And I got news for you. Jerry Rice had beaten his man going down the sideline.
That was an interesting formation. I don't believe I've seen one quite like that before. They had 3 wide outs lined up behind one another, and Monroe broke across the middle and was wide open.
Looks like one you'd see in Central Park.
They only had 2 defenders covering the 3 guys.
They draw it out. You go deep, you go short. Menninger to punt. Looking for the corner. And not as good as he wanted, I'm sure.
Got to give credit to that Seahawk defense.
They mark it at the 13-yard line. So Seattle has a first down and 10. Auburn against Alabama. Live at 3 o'clock Eastern Saturday on CFA College Football right here on ABC. 7th-ranked Auburn taking on Alabama. And, of course, Auburn with the great Heisman Trophy hopeful Bo Jackson, but on the line for Alabama too, Joe.
Right, the SEC championship can be had, and I'll tell you, this Mike Schuler's developed into quite a quarterback. Reminds me a little bit of Kenny Stabler. Doesn't quite have the arm that Kenny had, but he sure has developed into a good passer.
And of course, Bo Jackson, over 1,600 yards already. You'll see it right here Saturday on ABC. This is Kurt Warner, right side. Works for 2, perhaps 3, before he's dropped by John Hardy.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, the Seahawks are getting away with some tremendous splits in their offensive linemen. And what they did on that play, what was happening up until now, is Michael Carter's been doing a job over the center. What they did on that play, they had a halfback come and cut Michael Carter. Sort of a dirty play.
Yeah, they don't like to get cut. Seahawks need a big play before they go in at halftime. 4:22 remaining, and they are down by 9. Largent's wide open. A flag is down as Largent comes down with the football a little short of the first down. But again, the flag is down.
Oh, Steve might have pulled a trick and pushing off there.
Steve Largent pushing off the defender. Let's watch him again. Rapidly putting himself in the NFL record books, and he hasn't been around that long, but he does make slight contact with Eric Wright. Boy, I'll tell you, that is a close call.
Could be called a cheap call too. That was pretty. That was close. Well, one thing must not happen here for Seattle, and that's for Dave Craig to lose his confidence. Now, he's been around the league for a while. There's Chuck Knox. And by the way, the Seattle Seahawks bench and press box calls the plays out there, and I hope that they haven't lost confidence in Dave Craig. They need to go back to their original game plan, because earlier when they were trying to pass the football, he had open receivers. He just wasn't getting the ball to him.
The offensive pass interference takes the Seahawks back inside their 10-yard line. And now they bring in 4 wide receivers. Daryl Turner's in there, Scansey, Steve Largent, and Byron Walker.
It's still curious that in an obvious passing situation, Fred Dean is on the sidelines.
2nd and 15. And that was nearly another safety. Dwayne Board put the hit on Dave Craig inside the 1. Craig just did step out of the end zone to avoid the 2 points. And I don't know how he held on to the football.
I thought he lost the ball.
Dwayne Board rushing from that right side of his. Dwayne is, over the years, has been the most valuable lineman for this 49er team. He's the only guy that almost never comes off the football field. He came to this 49er team when I was here. We got him as a free agent from Pittsburgh. We call him Pee-wee.
Pee-wee. John Borchardt, who is in there at left tackle for Ron Essink, who pulled a groin earlier. We told you about that earlier. Was trying to block Dwayne Board. He didn't make it. 3rd down and 24. Eric Lane will give the Seahawks a little bit of room to bring out their punting unit. The Fensler will still be punting from the end zone. At least Seattle, from the 5-yard line, will be able to kick from the regular punt formation. When you are down inside the 1 or 2, you have to tighten it all up, because you can't drop your punter back as deep as you'd like to. Well, the Seahawks will go from a tight formation. And that many times will allow a good return. Fensler, not a good kick. McLemore at the 38-yard line. And Freddie Young was down there and hammered McLemore at the 39-yard line. 2:27 remaining in the first half, and the 49ers leading 9-0, have great field position. They also have their 3 timeouts, as does Seattle. And to remind you at halftime, a look at the Bears' whitewash yesterday of Atlanta. We're going to be talking live with Joe Theismann. So stay with us. 49ers trying to win tonight to stay within 2 of the Los Angeles Rams. They meet the Rams right here at Candlestick Park in 2 weeks. Roger Craig a yard, and that's about it. It'll be second down and 9.
Picked up by Brown.
Ticking down close to the 2-minute warning. 49ers will not get a playoff. I think just about everyone is aware that First Lady Nancy Reagan has devoted a great deal of time and energy in the fight against drug and alcohol abuse. Well, tomorrow night here in nearby Oakland, Mrs. Reagan will attend a benefit dinner for Pros for Kids, an organization founded by former 49er Dell Williams that takes the battle against drugs into the high schools and the elementary schools. Here now, a very special message from our First Lady. That message brought to you by the National Football League. It'll be an honor for me to MC tomorrow night's affair. Many athletes, great athletes from all sports will be there, including Marcus Allen, George Brett, Joe Montana, to name just a few. Quite a lady, carrying on her fight against drug and alcohol abuse, even while she was in Geneva with President Reagan in the recent talks. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. The 49ers over Seattle, 9-0. They have a second down and 9. The ball at the 33-yard line of Seattle. And Roger Craig somehow stays on his feet, and he just about breaks it off. To the 22-yard line, it's a 49er first down. Somebody let up at the line of scrimmage, and Craig never lets up.
You got to give him credit for good balance, and the guy just churns those legs. As I said, I don't think anybody works on the ropes more than Roger Craig. Look at him. Watch this. He just walks through the tacklers.
Everyone thought Nash had him. He couldn't get him down, and Craig gets a 49er first down. Montana whips it out to Monroe. And Carl Monroe to the 16-yard line. Taken out of bounds by Terry Taylor. Gain of 5. It'll be second down and 5.
Carl Monroe wearing that number 32, playing like all players. Smart, got out of bounds, saved the timeout.
Yeah, I remember those guys, number 32.
All those 32s knew how to play.
Brown, Marcus Allen, and the Jew.
There have been some great 32s around. Second and 5, Wendell Tyler. And Tyler inside the 15, but short of the first down as he's hit by Jacob Green, who came right over the top. 49ers will use one of their timeouts. They have 2 remaining. When we come back, they'll be faced with a third down and 1. Joe Montana, he's gone through this crazy year. I mentioned earlier, didn't have quite an opportunity to finish. But a couple of weeks ago, with so many rumors flying around, drug involvement. They were bizarre rumors. He was arrested here, he was arrested in Detroit, arrested in Atlanta. Stories are breaking out all over the place, and Bill Walsh finally called a press conference, denied it all. They looked into it, and Joe Montana really suffered through that. He came to his own press gathering the following day. This was a week ago last Thursday, and said, look, life is miserable. I can't even go out anymore. But again, it's quite a commentary on the state of sports in this country today. A bad game, a bad season, and you're defending yourself. This is Gary Carmen. And contact made between Dave Brown and John Frank. The crowd, a 49er crowd, of course, they would have liked to have seen defensive pass interference.
A good play by Dave Brown. If the ball had been out a little bit more, it might have been touchdown, but Brown covered his man, reacted nice, and he's looking for the ball. That's why this isn't interference. He's going for the ball.
Yeah. That's close, but you got to give him credit. When you pitch out to a back going away from you, you're talking about disciplined football. He stayed with his responsibility.
On fourth down, Wershing is on, 10 of 16 for the season. This will be a 31-yard attempt. Matt Cavanaugh provides the hold. Randy Cross the snap, and that's blocked. And Seattle has the football.
This Seattle defense is doing a whale of a job.
That goes with the rest of the first half. Byron Walker comes down with it. 1:05 remaining in the first half. Seattle with 3 timeouts. They have been unable to generate any kind of a happening. They do not even have a first down here in the second quarter. But they do get the block, and they get the ball back and prevent the 3 points.
All right, right over the middle.
Right
Jacob Green.
In the middle is Jacob Green, number 79.
You know, it's funny. You think about it. 2 weeks ago, we watched the 49er team against Denver look a lot like this Seahawks team on offense, and they came back and they were red hot in the second half, even though they didn't win the game. I wouldn't be surprised to see this Seahawks team come back in the second half and light up their scoreboard.
Well, they've got to feel great going in at halftime, only 9 points down after the way they've been playing. 1st and 10 in Seattle. Will move from the shotgun.
I'm not too sure.
And Largent, the one hopper, incomplete.
I'm not too sure. In fact, I wouldn't have been throwing the football at this time with a minute left on the clock. By stopping the clock with the incompletions, San Francisco, with their timeouts, may be able to force Seattle to punt the ball.
Hey, Joe, I played against you when you were with the Jets and I was with the Bills. You would have been throwing the ball right now, Joe.
Well, I hope I'd have been throwing it a lot better than young David's been throwing it so far tonight.
2nd down and 10. Clock stop with 1 minute. Craig forced to throw underneath. That's Byron Walker. It's incomplete. He throws it behind him, stops the clock again with 53 seconds. And now, Joe, I think what you were talking about is going to happen no matter what Seattle does. San Francisco has 2 timeouts. And Finzer has not been punting well tonight for Seattle. It could be that the 49ers will have another scoring opportunity.
Well, if Seattle doesn't pick up a first down here, San Francisco will have plenty of time with 2 timeouts to get in field goal position again. Maybe they'll run the football here and force the 49ers to use one of their timeouts.
Craig in the 2nd quarter, 1 of 5 for 12 yards.
Oh, boy.
A lot of pressure on Craig. That was Fred Dean right in his face. And Craig is complaining that one of his receivers was being held, and now a flag is down, and the preliminary call is going to be against Craig for grounding the ball.
Number 17, offense, loss of down.
Well, Dave had no case that time. You could tell by the way he released the ball, he was simply throwing it away.
I'll tell you one thing for Dave Craig. He will probably never in his lifetime have a half like this.
But what I don't understand is why Seattle is given a chance or the opportunity to San Francisco to score again before the half. Heck, only being 9 points down after the way they played the first half, you'd think they'd be happy to take that.
McLemore is back. Finzer again from the end zone. 47 seconds on the clock, and the 49ers have 2 timeouts. Finzer puts it up high, but short. The fair catch called for by McLemore at the 41-yard line. And 40 seconds remain on the clock. The 49ers could get something more out of it.
Hey, that's the kind of offensive philosophy that really gets your defense a little upset at you. Jeez.
Montana steps into the huddle, licking his chops. I think he was almost in the locker room.
Yeah.
But they get it back. Great field position. First down, Montana looks downfield, and he fires to Dwight Clark, and is complete inside the 35 to the 32. 2nd down and 3. Hurry up offense by the 49ers. They've already called this play. They'll conserve the timeouts. They have 2. Montana, Rice makes a diving catch, tries to roll out of bounds. He doesn't get out of bounds. And the 49ers will have to use one of their 2 timeouts to stop the clock, but they have a first down well within working field goal range near the 19-yard line of the Seahawks.
Strange half. We saw the Seahawks take 3 points off the board and possibly put 3 points back on the board for the 49ers.
Good strong arm by Montana. That ball had to hang up there a long time.
What I don't understand, though, is the Seahawks' offensive philosophy. They haven't been able to move the ball the entire first half. I wonder why all of a sudden they thought they could move the ball 80 yards in the last minute and 10 seconds. I can't figure it out. That's just poor play calling. And the coaches call the plays. Maybe they should go back to the quarterbacks calling the plays.
49ers leading. They have a 9-0 lead. They have 1 timeout remaining. They have 16 seconds remaining here in the first half. A win tonight, and the 49ers will still be 2 games behind the Rams. They're probably going to need help. Certainly going to need help if they're going to win the division. They have to think perhaps wild card, and they have an opportunity to help themselves with the rest of their schedule. We'll tell you about that a little later on. On first down, Montana is back. Dwight Clark hit and makes contact with Terry Taylor. Steps out of bounds. Stops the clock at 11 seconds. And the 49ers have the one timeout remaining. Would you, Joe, try to put it in the end zone before you bring the field goal kicker on?
Either that or get it to someone like Craig or Tyler on a little swing pattern up the gut where he can get it in his hands while he's running upfield, because they'll still have time to call their last timeout.
They have 11 seconds on the halftime scoreboard clock. They have the one timeout. Montana throws it away. 6 seconds on the clock, and we will see Ray Wersching. Wersching has, for the year, not been having one of his great years. At end of tonight, he was 5 in a row. Had one blocked earlier by Jacob Green.
Even if Wersching gets this kick, Seattle must feel good about going in just 12 points down.
32-yard attempt. Wersching flips the upright, and time has expired. And for Seattle, the way they played, only giving up 12 points is almost a moral victory. I think we'll be back with our halftime activities in just a moment. Right now, this from our stations.
Components of the new vision of Kodak.
The wheel spins tonight at 10 on Channel 7.
Saturday on CFA College Football. It's the golden anniversary of a Southeast Conference Classic. In the 50th meeting of these national powers, 7th-ranked Auburn takes on their conference rival, Alabama. The fierce Tiger attack is led by Heisman hopeful Bo Jackson. The Crimson Tide's offense is led by quarterback Mike Shula, as they still have hopes for a Sugar Bowl bid. Premier players in a premier matchup.
And keep up with all the day's matchups with Bino Cook, Doug Flutie, and myself on College Football Today, live at 3 o'clock Eastern, Saturday on ABC Sports.
Halftime at San Francisco, the 49ers over Seattle 12-0. Lots of action yesterday, and it's that time of year, sticky time for teams thinking about playoffs, but that's not the case for the Chicago Bears. The Atlanta Falcons were the Chicago Bears victims yesterday. The Bears rolling to their second consecutive shutout and a 12-0 record. Second quarter action, the Chicago Bears leading 6-0. Fuller pitches out to Walter Payton. Payton sprints down the sidelines, 40 yards, another Bear touchdown, as Payton rolled to an NFL record-tying 7th consecutive 100-yard game. With Chicago leading 13-0 in the second quarter, it was refrigerator territory. And the game's most famous appliance, William Perry, dives in from 1 yard out. That made it Chicago 20, Atlanta nothing. And in the fourth quarter, the Falcons' Bob Holly is back looking for a receiver. He'll be sacked by number 70, Henry Wachter, and Richard Dent for the safety. Chicago took a 29-0 lead. The final score, the Bears another shutout, 36-0 over Atlanta. And for the Bears, a big test next Monday night. It'll be the Miami Dolphins, who were in Buffalo yesterday, trying to stay close to the Jets and New England. Dan Marino is back in the second quarter with Miami leading 7-0. And look at the time he has. His offensive line, even though decimated by injuries, has given up the NFL's fewest sacks through 12 games. Marino had the time. Dan Johnson was open, 15 yards, a touchdown. Miami went out on top 14-0. Action in the third quarter. Miami leading 14-7. Quarterback Bruce Matheson is back from the shotgun. He scrambles right. Looks deep downfield for his speedster Jerry Butler, and Butler is there. The defender slips. Butler takes it in from 60 yards out. That knocks things at 14 all. But Miami came right back. Fourth quarter action. Miami leading 17-14. Dan Marino hands off to Tony Nathan. 4-yard touchdown. Miami defeats Buffalo 23-14. So the stage is set for next week. Here on Monday Night Football, the Bears defense and Walter Payton against a quick trigger Dan Marino and the two marks, Duper and Clayton.
Competition is what makes American business go. Competition is what makes American business excel. Competition is what gives meaning to success. Competition is what drives Hilton to be America's business address.
Wednesday, it's a special night for MacGyver. An oil rig fire burns out of control.
Dynamite wouldn't hurt.
And to shut it down, he's forced to make a suicide run.
The brakes are gone.
A special MacGyver at 8/7 Central.
You'll love it.
Yesterday at Giant Stadium in New Jersey, the lead for the AFC East was on the line. The Jets and the New England Patriots. Third quarter action, the Jets leading 6-3. The Jets have the top-rated quarterback in the NFL. They've never been able to say that before. And Ken O'Brien finds Wesley Walker over the middle. He goes 88 yards for the touchdown. The Jets out on top 13-3. But New England, even without quarterback Steve Grogan, battled back to tie it at 13. And then in overtime, from 32 yards out, Pat Leahy wins it. The Jets defeat New England 16-13, and the Patriots are snake bit in overtime. They are the only NFL team never to have won an overtime game. They are now 0-8. What a day for Marcus Allen of the Raiders yesterday. The Coliseum in Los Angeles, the Denver Broncos in town. First quarter action, Denver leading 7-0. Mark Wilson hands off to Marcus Allen. He looks left. He looks over the middle. Breaks it into the clear and takes it 61 yards for a touchdown to tie the game at 7. For Allen, on the day, 222 yards of offense, 173 rushing, 49 receiving. Fourth quarter action, the Raiders leading at 28-21. John Elway pitches out to Steve Sewell. Then the rookie from Oklahoma takes it in for the game-tying touchdown. But the Broncos lost the flip of the coin. Their offensive team never got back onto the field. And Chris Barr won it from 32 yards out. The Raiders over the Denver Broncos 31-28. And they are in a tie for the AFC Western Division. Anaheim Stadium, Anaheim, California. Olympic speedster and gold medalist Ron Brown raced into the NFL record book yesterday. He won a gold in the 4x100 relay in 1984. Here he is, opening kickoff of the game. Up the right side, 98 yards for the touchdown. He would do it again in the second quarter as he became the third player in NFL history to score 2 touchdowns in the same game on kickoff returns. He joined Tim Brown of the Philadelphia Eagles and Travis Williams of Green Bay. In the fourth quarter, the Rams leading 21-7. Peter Brock had a hot hand. Looks over the middle. He finds Ron Brown, and Ron Brown scores his third touchdown of the day from 39 yards out. The Los Angeles Rams defeating the Green Bay Packers 34-17.
Driven 10 hours a week, this toy could use $500 worth of alkaline batteries. Because when an alkaline battery goes dead, you throw it away. This is a GE rechargeable. When it goes dead, you don't throw it away. You do something revolutionary. You recharge it. So why spend $500 for alkaline batteries when you could spend less than $15 for 2 GE rechargeable batteries and a charger? GE, we bring good things to life.
Saturday, Lee Majors returns as the fall guy to find a kidnapped child.
Look, I just have to get Riley back. She's all I got.
A powerful story of love and hope.
I've got your daughter.
Never stop till I find you. The fall guy returns. Then
go ahead.
She'll make your Saturday.
Give me a reason.
Now, Justice is getting a new name.
They don't tell us what is and what is not our business.
Lady Blue. All starting at 8/7 Central. Saturday.
From San Francisco. We're at halftime in San Francisco. The 49ers over the Seattle Seahawks 12-0 in a very important game for both these ball clubs. Perhaps a little more important for the 49ers. But for Seattle, a win tonight and they could control their own destiny. They win the rest of the games, well, they would win their division. If you were with us a week ago, last Monday, the Washington Redskins playing against the New York Giants. One of the worst things I've ever seen happen in pro football happened in front of us, and it happened to a friend, Joe Theismann. Joe Theismann is joining us live now from a hospital in Washington. He had a compound fracture of the right leg. It was a tremendous shot that he took. The weight, as you saw, if you were with us, snapping the right leg. And there was some question as to what would ultimately happen to Joe. Here is Joe's right leg now. We talked with him a few minutes ago, obviously in great spirits. Joe, we watched it yesterday on both CBS and NBC, and I think there are a lot of people, and particularly a lot of people who are not close to this game, might wonder. You said, yes, I will be back. I will come back and play. Let's talk about why, Joe.
Well, Frank, first of all, I'd never envisioned myself leaving the game of football on a stretcher. I envisioned myself making a determination as to when I wanted to leave. Much like, you're in a little bit of a different situation. I think you were forced out of the game a little bit prematurely. Joe left the game because he moved to where he wanted to. O.J. left the game again because he wanted to, not necessarily because they reached a point when they deliberately had to. I feel like I want to make the decision when I leave the game of football. Right now, my spirit says I want to go back and play. My mending process is really going to be the determining factor as far as how my leg progresses through the next 8-10 months.
You're 36 now, Joe. You would be 37 when you would make that comeback. Any doubts about being able to do it? I mean, say the mending process is what all the doctors seem to think that it will be. Any doubts yourself personally?
No, not really. I don't have any doubts that my leg's going to be able to come back to a reasonable state so I'll be able to play football. And the fact that I'm 36 and 37, these are things that have been stated and misstated and I think overstated throughout the course of a year. I still feel like I can compete with any 25 or 26-year-old football player. So as far as my age goes, I don't think it's a factor. I've been very lucky. I've managed to stay relatively injury-free. I can't say injury-free anymore, but I can say relatively, up until this year. And it's sort of going to be a rededication for me. I'm curious to see if I have it inside and have what it takes to want to get back. It's almost a test for myself.
Joe, I know sometimes when a football player is injured, it's tougher on the people that are around them. They suffer perhaps even more than you did, as I have, and Joe Jay and Joe Namath, and Kathy Lee Crosby is with you right at the moment. She's been with you, your sidekick, for the past year. I know that. She, of course, saw that happen. Your thoughts, Kathy Lee?
Frank, I just lost my earpiece
Frank,
right here.
This is one of the...
This is on camera. Anyway, I heard the last bit of it, but it was shocking. When I saw that he didn't get back quickly, I knew that he was injured, and I didn't know how badly. And all I could think of was just to get there and see him and make sure that it was all right. And I happened to arrive just at the time that they were loading him into the ambulance. And it's a sight that I'll never forget. Mainly because there's something, you wish you could do anything.
Well, we had to wait for her, too, because she doesn't know Washington that well, and I was afraid she wasn't going to be able to find me. So I asked the ambulance drivers just to hang around, wait till Kathy Lee got there.
But Frank, I knew he was all right when he said, you know, Kathy Lee, I think this is not saying much for my punting career. I think it's over.
Well, guys, we want to thank you for joining us. We're about ready to get the second half underway. The Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. It goes without saying, all of us at ABC, all of us in the world of sports, I know, which Joe Theismann, the very best. Thank you once again for being with us.
Thanks.
This is Dick Clark inviting you to a special anniversary party celebrating 33 1/3 years of American Bandstand. It's a 3-hour spectacular with the biggest names in pop music. American Bandstand's 33 1/3 celebration. You'll love it.
An ABC News Business Brief brought to you by Kellogg's Apple Raisin Crisp. Now from New York, Dan Kortz.
Good evening. Car sales were sharply lower again in mid-November. The slump began when discount financing ended. But home resales increased last month as mortgage rates stayed low. New York Senator D'Amato today introduced a bill that would sharply cut credit card interest rates. Gasoline prices are up a bit, and they're expected to go 2 cents a gallon higher by year's end. President Reagan will take another week before deciding whether to back the tax reform bill passed by the Ways and Means Committee. Now this.
Hey, how about them apples in new Kellogg's Apple Raisin Crisp? Now we've added big, juicy apples in lots of mouth-watering chunks. Mmm, delicious. New Apple Raisin Crisp cereal. How about them apples?
On New York financial markets, the Dow fell 8 points. Interest on T-bills was little changed. Gold gained $5, and the dollar finished mixed. That's Business Brief. I'm Dan Kortz.
You always hurt the one you love.
People have a love-hate relationship with their cars. They love them, but they don't always treat them right. Yet amazingly, over 90% of all Subarus registered since 1974 are still on the road. Now imagine how much longer they would last if people didn't love them so much.
See your local Bay Area Subaru dealer today.
On the coast of California, while big jets reach for the sky, one of the smallest endangered species quietly reaches for its dinner. The El Segundo blue lives on wild buckwheat, on land that's part of an oil refinery. It's not much bigger than your fingernail, yet people who work there protect the area and plant buckwheat. Do people really do that so 1/10 of a gram of beauty can survive? People do.
Channel 7 News looks at Miami Vice this week.
ABC Sports Exclusive is being brought to you by Nissan, builders of technologically advanced cars and trucks for over 50 years. By Bud Light, everything else is just a light. And by Radio Shack, your Christmas electronics store.
The second half about ready to get underway. The 49ers kicking off to Seattle. Randall Morris is deep with Paul Scansey for the Seahawks. And Ray Wershing puts the foot to it. This will be Scansey from the 10-yard line. And Scansey over the 25-yard line, close to the 28-yard line, tripped up there by Milt McCall. And Dave Craig comes back out. He was 2 of 15 for 22 yards, had the one interception. He was sacked twice. And the young man, well, the only place you can go from the first half for Dave Craig is up. Again, he was the quarterback a year ago when the Seahawks were 12 and 4, went to the playoffs. He was the quarterback when the Seahawks went to the AFC Championship the year prior to that. First down and 10 for the Seahawks at their own 27. Largent tries to make the diving catch. It's incomplete. Dwight Hicks was there defensively for the 49ers. Steve Largent, the 5th place in receiving all time in the National Football League, coming in tonight with 600 receptions. Ray Berry is in 4th place with 631. Had another 50-yard season. That means the 8th time that Largent in a 10-year career has caught at least 50 passes. That's an NFL record.
Largent was open that last time, and Dave was late getting the ball out there.
Second down and 10. Kurt Warner. And Warner over the 30 to the 32-yard line. Gain of about 5. It'll be third down and 5. And let's take a look at the stats. And they'll be mostly in double digits because that's what transpired in the first half, in case you were not with us. It was not a thing of artistic beauty whatsoever on the part of either team. As we evolve to the halftime stats, Seahawks did not get a first down in the second quarter of the first half. They're looking for one right here from their own 32 with a third down and 5. They will not get it. Craig down at the line of scrimmage, chased and dropped by Keena Turner, and Seattle must punt.
Keena Turner did an excellent job on that play. He not only had to cover number 80, Steve Largent, he had to try to keep Craig from running for the first down, and fortunately Craig slipped and Keena made the play.
Dave Fenzer on to punt. There is Keena Turner. Makes a lot of things happen for these 49ers. And there is Dana McLemore. McLemore deployed at about the 49ers 25-yard line. And he takes it at the 27. Fine running by McLemore. He got out of a lot of trouble several times and gets it out over the 35 to the 36. A 40-yard punt, and McLemore with an 8-yard return.
41-yard kick.
49ers first possession. Montana in the first half. He warmed up a little bit towards the end. He wound up 9 of 20 for 138 yards for 1 touchdown, but he had 3 interceptions. He only had 6 coming in to tonight's game for the entire season. Montana sprints for the first down, and he'll get it. Out to the 46-yard line before he is driven out of bounds by Schultz.
Well, that's what Joe Montana does so well, too. Or another thing, I should say, Joe Montana does so well. He buys time with his movement. The defense had everyone covered except Joe Montana, and he makes 11-yard gain. He did that so well in the Super Bowl last year.
Certainly did. 59 yards to scramble for against Miami. 24, 35, 3 touchdowns. rushed for 59 yards in the Super Bowl. 49ers totally dominating the Miami Dolphins. Super Bowl 19. First and 10. Roger Craig is in the flat. That is great running by Roger Craig to the 36-yard line. Another 49er first down.
You take a look at this play. It's a simple play, a low swing pass. Most teams in the league will gain maybe 5 yards out of a play like this, but not with Roger Craig. Just look at the leg action. He never gives up on a play. He's always working, and he's always covering the ball when it comes time for contact with the defense.
Ended tonight with 1,476 all-purpose yards, or rather yards from scrimmage. Marcus Allen, of course, was tied with him a week ago. Marcus Allen had 222 yards yesterday. So Craig will have a hard time getting close to Allen. But he's working at it as we watch Wendell Tyler pick up about 3 to the 32-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for the 49ers. And we're going to pause 5 seconds and allow our stations to identify themselves.
KGO TV, Channel 7, serving the Bay Area.
The Seattle Seahawks and the 49ers, they're both 6-5. Seattle 6-5 in the AFC West, chasing Denver and the Raiders. They're 8-4. The 49ers are chasing the Los Angeles Rams. They'll win tonight, and they'll still be 2 games behind with 4 remaining to be played. 49ers on 2nd down and 6. They lead 12-0, and Montana tries to make it more, looking for the rookie Jerry Rice in the end zone, but he was well covered. Kenny Easley was back there. He was helping Keith Simpson, and Montana put it out of the end zone.
Well, if any receiver beats them deep, I don't think it's going to be Jerry Rice. And talking to Ralph Hawkins, the defensive backfield coach of the Seahawks team, he said in the last 3 games, the 49ers have thrown 3 long passes, or 3 flies, 3 up patterns, and 8 of them went to Jerry Rice. So they plan to keep an eye on him tonight.
3rd down and 6. Roger Craig is the single setback. Craig this time does not handle it. And in any event, Jacob Green was right with him. They use Roger Craig a little different, a much different way than the Raiders use Marcus Allen, as all of a sudden several banks of lights have gone out here at Candlestick Park. It really has darkened up. As you can see across the field, one entire bank of lights are out, and part of another one. And I started to say that Marcus Allen, they just use him with the Raiders almost like an ICBM back there. You know right where he's going to be. He's coming at you.
Well, they
move Roger Craig around a great deal, the 49ers. They put him in motion. They put him on the flank. They'll even split him out as a wide receiver.
Well, what the 49ers try to do with Craig is dictate to the defense what coverage they must go into. They'll send other players in motion to force them into a certain defensive coverage, and then they'll try to isolate Craig on a linebacker or something. In L.A., the Raiders, they just come right at you.
Well, I don't know whether we are waiting for the lights to be turned back on or not. Seems to be certainly enough light to play football.
Certainly shouldn't hamper Craig at all.
Hey, it might help Seattle. We'll try to get an answer as to what has happened, but there's one entire bank of lights here at Candlestick Park that have gone out. Part of 3 others now as I look around. But it could get very dark here very suddenly. Major storm in the Bay Area yesterday, over 3 inches of rain, but it cleared up and was beautiful throughout most of the day. The temperature expected to drop into the 50s tonight. There is Candlestick Park, which will be expanded to 70,000 seats over a $30 million 5-year rebuilding program. Well, while we wait, let's take a look at the playoff contenders. And of course, for the 49ers, if you look at the NFC contenders, they are going to have quite an opportunity. They have games remaining with Dallas. These are the teams that they're looking over their shoulder at as possible wild card competition. Dallas, of course, they're at 8-4. They close with the Dallas Cowboys. And they also are going to play the Washington Redskins. And then, of course, they have the Rams December the 9th, the game in which we will bring you. All right, there are the AFC contenders. In the AFC East, of course, the Jets are on top there. Miami is 8-4. They'll be playing the Bears next Monday night. We'll bring you that game. And New England is 8-4. And in the Central Division, Cleveland and Pittsburgh are knotted up at 6-6, and we'll be watching the Pittsburgh Steelers and the San Diego Chargers in a couple of weeks in San Diego. And of course, the Seattle Seahawks are fully aware that if they can control their own destiny, and they're in trouble here at the moment, trailing the 49ers 12-0, but if they could win every football game, they would win the Western Division of the AFC. It's quite simply that, because they have games remaining with Denver and the Raiders. On 4th down, Runninger looks for the corner. And he gets a goodie. Runninger has it outside, well within the 10-yard line. They're going to mark it near the 7-yard line. So once again, Seattle will start deep in their own territory. And the lights are still dim here at Candlestick Park.
This NFL safety was out of football and working in a health food store.
I had been cut twice, once by the Detroit Lions and once by the Philadelphia Eagles.
The Achievers, those who faced adversity and refused to fail, brought to you by the U.S. Army. The San Francisco 49ers gave Dwight Hicks one more chance, a chance that made him an all-pro.
Doesn't matter what you do. If you're going to be a garbage man, be the best garbage man. If you're going to be an executive, be the best executive you possibly can be.
Technology is taking over the world. You can keep up with it, or you're going to be left behind. That's why I joined the Army.
From microchip circuitry to laser technology, the world's largest school for high-tech skills is the Army.
Bravo, go active. Bravo, lock, 05.
Be all that you can be.
I don't intend to get left behind.
Find your future in the Army.
12 wins, no losses. The dream team of '85, the awesome Chicago Bears, want to keep their perfect season rolling. Miami is fighting to stay in the playoff hunt. The matchup next week on Monday Night Football.
It'll be quite a game next Monday night down in Miami. The Bears rolling along, 12-0, looking for that undefeated season. But they are going to have maybe a little different time getting to Dan Marino.
I think a lot of offensive coaches around the league will be taking a good look at how Don Shula plays this Buddy Ryan coach defense of Chicago's. See if he has any tricks up his sleeves for it.
Marino can deliver so quickly, and of course that offensive line has only allowed 13 sacks. That's the low in the NFL this season. We've asked a lot of questions around here. We do not know what the problem with the lights are. We hope it is not affecting our picture too drastically. The lights are way down. They've lost several banks of lights. But it's 1st down and 10 for Seattle at their own 7-yard line. Warner. And Warner just kept pecking along the line. Gets out to about the 10-yard line for a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Ronnie Lott took Warner out of bounds there.
Certainly no quit in Kurt Warner. He can make more guys miss in a confined space than I think any back in the game of football. One of the things that is hampering this Seahawk running game is the fact that once again in the middle, Michael Carter is doing such a job in the middle that they just cannot run up the middle. Michael Carter been the nose guard of the 49ers.
Dave Craig brings them up, 2nd down and 7. The ball just inside the Seahawks 10-yard line. Craig was down to 4 seconds on the 30-second clock. So rather than take the 5-yard penalty, he uses a timeout. We'll be back in a moment.
What do you do when you already build one of the best production sports cars in the world? If you're Nissan, you build it even better. Introducing the new Nissan 300ZX. Sleeker, sharper, slicker, hotter, awesome. The new 300ZX, one of the best sports cars in the world, just got better. The name is Nissan.
Guidance systems, marine navigation, computer systems. Sperry technology has set a standard for anything that moves, on land, sea, or air. Now Sperry will set a new standard for airline safety. A warning system that can sense wind shear and alert the cockpit automatically. You know, a lot of people consider Sperry a safe choice. They don't know how right they are.
Give me a light. Bud Light.
If you just ask for a light beer,
Hey, can I have a light?
whoa, you never know what you'll get.
Give me a light. Bud Light.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Give me a light.
Ask them to bring out their best.
Bud Light.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
You know, a lot of folks might wonder, and myself included, how long will Coach Knox go with Dave Craig? He has a backup quarterback, a young backup quarterback, Gail Gilbert, and I think that's the reason he's going to stick with Craig throughout the entire game.
Gilbert, of course, played his college football out here in the Bay Area. Free agent, rookie from University of California. He stays on the sidelines. Dave Craig looks over a 2nd down and 7. The Seahawks inside their own 10-yard line. The screen. Eric Lane, and a collision you heard all the way here through our head mics as Lane bowls into Keena Turner and Ricky Ellison, but he is close to a first down. He'll pick it up.
Give Eric Lane some credit, like his uncle MacArthur Lane. There's no quit in him. A lot of backs would have stepped out of bounds before they got to that first down marker, seeing that it was 2nd down. This kid knew he was going to get tagged, put his head down, and got the first down.
Seahawks now out to the 17-yard line. A quick count for Kurt Warner. Turns it back inside, gets out over the 20-yard line. Gain of 5 for Kurt. It'll be 2nd down and 5.
Boy, if Kurt could have gotten a little closer to number 65, Edwin Bailey, he may have gotten a nice gain out of that play, because Bailey, a pulling guard, turned up and made an excellent block on the pursuing linebackers.
You know, I can't help but believe that Dave Craig has got to get hot. He can't continue to play as poorly as he has this game. He's too good a quarterback.
Seattle trailing 12-0. As poorly as they have played, they are still in this football game. 2nd and 5. Warner. Good running by Warner. And he has another first down. He's out over the 30-yard line to the 32-yard line. He was hit behind the line of scrimmage, broke it outside, and gets the first down yardage.
Now here's a play designed to go off tackle from the I formation. Now this is one advantage you have from the I formation. You got a lot more room. You can see the blocking better, and you can make adjustments like Kurt did by jumping outside and making a couple of guys miss. Right now we're really looking at Chuck Knox football.
Conservative.
Chuck.
Let the other team make the mistakes, and it's paid off well for Knox over the years. Craig out of the flat, Kurt Warner. And Warner to the 35-yard line. A good move to make Keena Turner miss, and I think Keena Turner has pulled a hamstring. He's leaving the field. He grabbed the back of his leg. He was trying to make the tackle on Kurt Warner. Pulled up, grabbed the hamstring, and walked off the field. And now Warner is having a problem.
Well, you saw Kurt when he skipped by Keena Turner. He was a little off balance, and he had to hop a little bit, and I think he may have just jammed that knee a little bit. One of the reasons Keena pulled, I don't think he's accustomed to being juked quite like this, but this is quite a severe move by Kurt Warner. He stopped and he skipped, and I think what he did, he came down on his heel on that one bad knee of his. Well, he came on his heel, but it may have jarred that bad knee of his.
Well, he's limping. He's had a bad ankle the last few weeks. Could be that injured ankle again.
He hurt his ankle 4 weeks ago against the Jets and had pretty much got over that. But now he is limping off the field, and Keena Turner has gone off on the same play. He grabbed the back of his right thigh. We'll try and get a report on both players. Warner got 3 yards out of it, so it'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Seahawks at their own 35-yard line. Randall Morris, number 43, has replaced Warner. Craig, Largent, and Largent will have a first down at the 45-yard line of the 49ers.
Craig stood in that pocket really nicely that last time. He almost went to his back out to the outside because downfield Larger was covered briefly, but then he came back to Largent. That showed me a lot right now. I think Craig's going to get it going.
Largent, 5 receptions on the night, 605, and really just a remarkable career. 45-yard line, first down and 10. Warner is back in the lineup. Charlie Young in motion. Craig flips it out to Warner. And Warner making 49ers miss all over the field.
I'm telling you, Kurt was playing possum when he limped off the field a few plays ago. Because, I mean, he looked as sharp on that run as he's looked all night.
You have to suspect it was the ankle, because when ankles start to heal up, every now and then you hurt them, and just for a moment you're unable to go. Warner obviously out for a couple of plays, back in the lineup. Look at these moves.
I tell you, he can make more guys miss in a confined space than any back in football. Most backs would have to stiff arm like that. He just makes them miss him clean. I mean, just totally missing.
A few inches short of the first down is Kurt Warner. Craig, 6 of 20, 65 yards. He has a 1 interception. 8:16 remaining in the third quarter. 49ers leading the Seahawks 12-0. These are vapor lights in Candlestick Park, and they are gradually starting to come back. Although there is one bank in which there are only a few lights. As you can see, they're starting to come back. Plenty of light now, however, to play this game. Second down and a few inches for the first down. And he spins and twists, and on his own gets the first down inside the 35, close to the 33-yard line.
It's funny how this game goes. He was thinking about getting the first down on that play, and I think one of the reasons he went inside instead of staying outside, which he might have gotten a big gain, is because when he tried to go outside on the goal line, he got stopped for a safety instead of staying true to the hole. And if that wouldn't have happened, I would have bet he would have stayed outside on that play and he would have gotten a big gain.
Manu Tuiasosopo is in at nose tackle. You saw number 95, Michael Carter, come off to get a bit of a breather. Seahawks have a first down and 10. 33-yard line of the 49ers. Eric Lane and Warner adjust. They were moving on the snap as Largent, single coverage from Eric Wright. They tried to get it to him. Craig had called the automatic, and they were adjusting when the ball was snapped. Referee again tonight, Bob McElwee. Show you the confidence they have in Eric Wright. They will leave him out there all alone with the best of receivers in the league. Perhaps the best man-to-man defender on this 49er team.
Legal motion. Offense. 2 men moving.
You know you're going to love Sunday night here on ABC. Dick Clark's hosting the 33 and the third anniversary celebration of American Bandstand. Everyone is going to be there for this one. The great stars. Great music spanning a third of a century of American Bandstand at 8 o'clock Eastern Pacific, 7 o'clock Central, Sunday right here on ABC with Dick Clark. When we talk about Dorian Gray, he's got to have a picture somewhere. Great performer for all these years. First down and 15. Midway through the third quarter. Craig wants all of it. Flag is down. Byron Franklin was wide open. Craig overthrew by a mile. Again, a flag is down at the line of scrimmage. And the penalty against the Seahawks. Word from the 49ers sidelines is that Keena Turner has a strained hamstring muscle.
Holding, number 76, offense, still first down.
John Boshart, who was in there for Essing, who pulled a groin muscle earlier in the game, and most of the time Borchardt has been blocking against Dwayne Board, the #1 pass rusher for these 49ers. The rookie in California, Gail Gilbert, has taken off his warm-up jacket, but we have not seen him over picking up any footballs to toss them around, as Dave Craig continues to suffer through a really miserable night. First down, long yardage. Craig looking for Largent. And Eric Wright again. Single coverage on Largent. This time Wright almost picked it off.
Now, I don't know what they think they're doing. They're going up against a guy, even though he was an alternate in the Pro Bowl, he's certainly the best defensive coverage man on the 49er team. And this is almost 3 plays in a row. They're trying to run ups on him.
Well, the second play, the last play, they had Wright beaten pretty badly. This play, he's the only man that's one-on-one on the football field. And because he's so good, that's probably why San Francisco allows him to play that way. But with the Steve Largent, I'd take my chances sometimes putting it up there at 25 yards to go one-on-one.
Second down and 25 for the Seahawks. As poorly as they played, they're still in this football game. They trail only by 12. Underneath, Darrell Turner. And Turner, gain of only about 6 yards, far short of the first down. Steps out of bounds at the 42-yard line. It'll be third down and 17.
Oh, no, I think I'd have to be talking to my receivers, the young Darrell, about getting some yardage instead of running out of bounds. Hey, we're losing this football game. It looks like he's trying to save some time on the clock.
They marked it at the 42, so it'll be third down and a little more than 17. Largent goes right, as does Darrell Turner. Byron Walker is split to the left. Craig, and Scansey is wide open, but he is held short of the first down near the 26-yard line. It's going to bring up fourth down and 2. And you would have to suspect that Chuck Knox is going to go for it, but he does not. Yes, they bring out the field goal kicker.
Yeah, this is a good call. I'd go for the field goal, too. I mean, it's a 12-point game, 12-0. We get on the board. That's got to lift the team up a little bit. And a touchdown and field goal wins the game if they can hold San Francisco.
And they have marked it at the 27, so it'll be fourth down and a long 3. So Norm Johnson is on. A 45-yard field goal attempt. He's 1 of 8 this season beyond 40 yards. And you might see why. I think that had something to do with the field, or at least Norm Johnson thought it did. Gail Gilbert was the holder. Johnson stomped on the area where the ball was placed down as if there might have been a hole there. In any event, he missed.
Some people choose Air Express companies for the wrong reasons.
Hello, Bill. I sent you a package yesterday with a real cheap Air Express company.
Package? What package?
I sent you a package yesterday. You should have seen the courier. He was gorgeous.
Package? What package?
I sent you a package yesterday, and I could win their sweepstakes.
Package? What package?
There's only one reason to choose an Air Express company: reliability. And that means Federal Express. Why fool around with anyone else?
Hey, hotshot! Race you back to the start. Okay, loser buys.
There's something about a Nissan 4x4 that makes turning it off just about the toughest thing you can do. Nissan calls it electro-fuel injection, independent front suspension, and a tough box ladder steel chassis. You just call it outrageous performance.
Who won? Who cares?
For an unbeatable 4x4, the name is Nissan.
Through the centuries, a wine has evolved with a unique taste, the taste of selected European vinifera grapes. A taste so incredibly delicious it wins awards year after year. A taste that has won the hearts of more people than any other imported wine in history. Riuniti on ice, so nice. If you haven't tried Riuniti, you don't know what you're missing.
Holiday special, buy a Riuniti Magnum and save $2 now, a great gift.
kids using and abusing pre-recorded phone messages tomorrow on ABC's World News Tonight.
Well, we've got him. The Seattle defense has played well. They have kept the Seahawks in this football game. Their offense you really have to wonder about. 12-4 a year ago. They lost in the playoffs finally to Miami. 9-7 the year before, and they went all the way to the AFC Championship. But they have been in desperate trouble tonight as we look at the end around by the 49ers. Jerry Rice that is going to lose 4 yards back to the 23-yard line. But the offensive unit of the Seahawks has been totally inept tonight.
Well, this game's changed drastically since I've played it. There's a wide receiver now just finding a hole to crawl in. He didn't even try to make a gain that time once he saw the defense had him corralled. He could have broken a tackle and maybe gained some yardage.
Yeah, but he was looking up at Jeff Bryant and Michael Jackson. Discretion, you know.
Second down, 14. Montana with a little bootleg action. Russ Francis is wide open. And the collision is at the 45. Francis sprawls to the 47. Kenny Easley colliding with Russ Francis, and they'll make some noise.
It is fun to watch any player who tries to challenge Kenny Easley. Of course, you're looking at Russ Francis. A little rollout here. Russ is all open over the middle. Russ is 6'6", 242 pounds. Easley is 206 pounds. Of course, Easley got a little help on that play. Greg Gaines, number 56.
And Francis gets the first down at the 47-yard line. Roger Craig. Again, Craig unbelievably making those tackles miss, breaking the tackle of Michael Jackson, slipping other tackles, and he turns a 2-yard loss into a 4-yard pickup. It'll be second down and 6.
Once again, it's all leg action. You know, we have these drills. You run the ropes, and there's a drill that they pull you on a rope. They wrap a rope around your waist, and they pull you, and you try to high knee action and pull the other guy who's holding the rope. Evidently, he's done a lot of that.
Sounds really boring.
It is. Believe me.
In Seahawk territory near the 49-yard line. Second down and 6. Montana gets it out to Dwight Clark. Keith Butler made the stop.
Yeah, that's what our man Clark does best. Finds the dead spot in the zone. Zone coverage that time. He just hooked up between Michael Jackson and Keith Butler.
He has tied the record of Billy Wilson. In 7 seasons, a 10th round draft pick that Coach Bill Walsh saw when he went down to look at another quarterback at Clemson named Steve Fuller. Steve Fuller worked out with Dwight Clark, and Bill Walsh took him in the 10th round, and now he has tied the 49ers all-time receiving record held by Billy Wilson. On 1st and 10, Montana, Wendell Tyler, and it was too perfectly thrown. He could have read the label. And Montana did everything but catch that for Wendell Tyler. Clark's third reception of the night has tied him with Billy Wilson. He needs one more to break the record. 407 receptions. And playing only in his 7th year. Second down and 10. 49ers at the Seahawks 40-yard line. 3:19 remaining in the third quarter, and there's that stacked flanker we saw in the second quarter. This time, Seattle has done their homework. They covered a little better than they did on the prior occasion. It'll be third down and 10. Last year, of course, the 49ers 15-1. Lost only to the Steelers. Beat the Giants and the Bears in the playoffs and beat Miami 38-16 in Super Bowl 19. They struggled this year, just as they did in the season of '82 following Super Bowl 16. Their win over Cincinnati following the '81 season. You recall, in '82 they were a 3-16. Third down and 10. The blitz is on. Read well by Montana. He gets it upfield. Gets the completion to Solomon, who's hit by Terry Jackson. Short of the first down, but inside the 35-yard line for a 6-yard pickup. Max Runiger comes out, the punter. Paul Scansey is deep. A field goal attempt by Wershing would be of about 52 yards. So the field goal kicker is out, or rather the punter is out, Runiger. And the 49ers are unable to cover before it gets into the end zone. The Seahawks will get it back on the touchback at the 20-yard line. And Dave Craig is wondering what has gone wrong tonight.
Its time has come at last. A 4x4 that blazes a new trail for all-terrain vehicles. Its full-time four-wheel drive will climb mountains, ford rivers, and conquer the densest forest. But the most amazing thing of all, it's not a truck. It's the new 4Trax 4x4, and it will take you almost anywhere. 4Trax 4x4, only from Honda.
Give me a light. No, Bud Light.
If you just ask for a light beer,
Thanks.
you never know what you'll get.
Nah, give me a light. Nah, Bud Light.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Give me a light.
Ask them to bring out their best.
Bud Light.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
It's Sears' biggest automotive sale of the year. Hundreds of thousands of batteries, thousands upon thousands of shocks, and they're all on sale. Save $20 on a Sears Die-Hard battery, only $49.99, our lowest price of the season. And save 40% on Sears heavy-duty shocks, now $5.99 each. So install some confidence at Sears today. Quantities aren't limited, but time is.
There's more for your life at Sears.
A fierce SEC rivalry as Heisman hopeful Bo Jackson and 7th-ranked Auburn meet Alabama, who's gunning for a Sugar Bowl bid. Coverage begins with College Football Today, Saturday.
They have not been shut out through three quarters since December the 19th, 1982. They have 2 minutes and 32 seconds remaining here in the third quarter at San Francisco against the 49ers, and they trail 12-0. First and 10, the Seahawks at their own 20-yard line. Kurt Warner, right side. And a great play by Jeff Fuller. Ran right through the Eric Lane block. Dropped Warner for a loss back at the 15-yard line. It'll be second down and 15. The New Orleans Saints, Bum Phillips, resigned today. Bum was replaced by his son, Wade Phillips, the defensive coordinator. The New Orleans Saints were 4-8 on the year. Yesterday, they defeated Minnesota 30-23, but Bum Phillips stepped down today with the New Orleans Saints. Flashy man, fun to be around, super football coach. Things just weren't going right in New Orleans. Second down and 15, Seahawks. Wide open is Largent. Largent to midfield, and Largent single coverage again by Eric Wright, and Largent did a number on Eric Wright. He gave him a drive inside, turned Eric Wright completely around, and he was wide open. There is a good move. He even looked inside.
That goes to show you, even the best of them can get beaten one-on-one. Eric Wright did get spun around.
Eric got beaten twice on that run, before the catch and after the catch.
Largent, 2 receptions on the night. He's been fairly well covered, and most of it has been single coverage by Eric Wright, but he has 2 receptions for 56 yards. He gives the Seahawks a first down near midfield. Craig, screen back against the grain. It goes to Charlie Young, the tight end, who hurdles down close to the 41-yard line, just short of a first down. Eric Wright and Ronnie Lott were both there defensively for the 49ers.
That play would have gotten a lot more yards if Byron Millard, number 71, would have made his block. He had excellent position to make the block, and he just simply missed the cornerback coming up.
Less than 30 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. The Seahawks offense has struggled all night long, but nevertheless, they are only 12 points down. Second down and less than a yard. Warner, first down and more to the 35-yard line of the 49ers. And that should expire the third period. The 49ers leading the Seattle Seahawks 12-0 after 3 quarters. We'll be back after this message from our stations.
Beyond supernatural.
We're going ghost hunting, Jack.
Beyond adventure.
Trust me. Trust you.
Beyond comedy.
That's what we need, another dummy who talks to the dead.
Catch Shadow Chasers, Thursday.
You'll love it.
On Channel 7 News tonight at 11, Bob McKenzie looks at the new movies coming out for the holidays, and we'll look into the music video magic of Miami Vice, all on 7 at 11.
My jersey says number 16. My jeans say Great Plains Clothing Company. They're the only jeans I'll wear, and only one place carries them, Macy's. So why sing those old shrink 'em till they fit right blues? My favorite jeans feel great and look great because they're made to fit just right. Macy's even has the right number on the price tag, number 16.
Great Plains jeans and cords, just $16. Now in the Tiger Shop, only at Macy's.
The 86 Toyotas are blasting off from your Toyota dealer. And right now is the time to land a great deal on the all-new front-wheel drive 86 Toyota Celica. For pure fun, test drive the sporty mid-engine MR2, now available with automatic transmission. And don't miss the Toyota Camry, front-wheel drive with stretch-out room for 5. We're out to break every sales barrier, so get to your Toyota dealer fast for 86 Toyotas and out-of-this-world deals. Who could ask for anything more?
Diet Face-Off, tomorrow on AM.
Fourth quarter in a game that's so very important to both these ball clubs, the Seattle Seahawks and the 49ers. They're both 6-5. Seattle, of course, in the AFC Western Division. With a victory tonight, they will move to within 1. Both the Raiders and the Denver Broncos, they lead the AFC West. And Seattle has remaining on their schedule a game with both Denver and the Raiders. So they are in a bit of control of their own destiny. On first down, Seattle goes on a quick count. And Craig gets the ball into Charlie Young, but he doesn't handle it. It's incomplete. 49ers, in contrast to Seattle in the NFC West, they are going to need some help. The Rams lead the NFC West 9-3, even though the 49ers gave them their first defeat of the season, the Los Angeles Rams. But even with a win tonight, the 49ers would move to 7-5. They'd still be 2 games behind the Rams, and even though they play them on December the 9th in a game that will bring you, they will still be looking for some help from their friends. They can't help themselves considerably with their schedule as far as wild card teams are concerned. Later in the season, they play both Washington and Dallas. Second down and 10. Largent single coverage again, and Craig underthrows. Bad pass by young Dave that time. He just didn't get the ball up and out. Never had his feet set. He had plenty of time to get some velocity on the ball, to set his feet to get the velocity on the ball, but just didn't do it. Boy, it's interesting, though, to see Eric Wright. He was laying way off Steve Largent at that time. He's still remembering a few moments ago when Largent spun him around like a top. Third down and 10. Paul Scansey comes in. Byron Walker. Scansey 82, Walker 89. 2 extra wide receivers for the Seahawks. Blitz is on. Craig hits Scansey, but he's short of the first down by about a yard near the 27-yard line. Now it's decision time for Chuck Knox.
I don't think it's much of a decision. You pretty much have to go for it now.
Fourth down. Jeff Stover, by the way, for the 49ers, has suffered a bruised knee. He will not be coming back. Fourth down and a yard and a half to go. Well, when you haven't kicked or had any success by kicking the ball past 40 yards, you can hardly blame the coach for going for the first down. The bootleg, run it. Craig will get the first down. Sliding at the 20-yard line. Craig gets the first down. They'll mark him near the 19, and the Seahawks keep the drive alive.
If Craig would have yelled hot, which is normally the key if on a bobbled field goal or when a quarterback is rolling out and he wants to run, Robert Pratt, number 61, would have gotten out in front of him and thrown a block, and he may have gone a little further.
Exactly right. That was either a run or a pass option, and the run was there, so he took it.
First and 10, Seattle. Just inside the 20-yard line of the 49ers. That's Eric Lane in motion. Play action by Craig. Looking for Turner. He was well covered by Dwight Hicks. Dave Craig, what a frustrating night. In the first quarter, he was 1 of 9. In the second quarter, he was 1 of 6. The third quarter, he was 8 of 10. And here now in the fourth quarter, he is 1 of 4. 11 of 28, 141 yards and the 1 interception.
I think they're about due for a draw or a screen. I haven't seen him run a draw play the entire evening. I don't know if they have in their repertoire.
Second and 10. The speedster, Darrell Turner, up at the top of your screen for the Seahawks. '49ers come with the blitz again, and Largent is in the end zone, and Craig overthrows under pressure.
Well, Largent was open. He had Dwight Hicks beaten that time. Just another overthrow.
That time, however, there were 49ers right in the face of Dave Craig. Dwayne Board applying pressure. Third down and 10.
Dwayne Board, is he the one you call Pee-wee, O.J.?
Yeah, they call him Pee-wee.
Why did they call him Pee-wee? I mean, he's 6'5", 248.
Well, we always used to tease him. We said it was his face. He had this little Pee-wee kind of scrunched up face. I think he had bigger brothers, though.
That's what it was.
The crowd chanting defense on 3rd and 10. The Seahawks will go from the shotgun, and there's movement on the left side. Dave Craig is going to call timeout. His tackle on the left side, Brian Millard, moved at the line of scrimmage. Craig very wisely used the timeout to avoid a 3rd and 15, but Seattle is now down to 1 timeout remaining.
Sometimes even Bigfoot's family gets tired of snow. To get away, they need the Nissan Stanza wagon, the only wagon with dual sliding doors, so it's easy in, easy out for all the little Bigfoots. And now the fuel-injected Stanza is available with 4-wheel drive to get you through the snow or away from the snow. Nice trip.
For sure.
For dual sliding doors and 2- or 4-wheel drive, the name is Nissan.
Effort. It's what separates one company from another. Effort. It's what it takes to stay ahead. Effort. It's the difference between a job and a job well done. Effort. It's what makes Hilton America's business address.
He could have stopped the fight. He could have saved his best friend's life. But now, the one thing he can't do is walk away.
He's had 1 professional fight, and 1 man is dead.
Baby, he's gonna have to kill me.
You can't win!
Rocky IV, rated PG. Starts Wednesday. Check newspapers for a theater near you.
Back at Candlestick Park, 49ers leading the Seattle Seahawks with 13:50 remaining in the game by 12 points. Seattle has a 3rd down and 10. The ball is at the 49ers 20-yard line. And on 3rd down, well, it has not been much of an evening for the Seahawks. Kurt Warner on the sidelines. He went out earlier with what appeared to be a minor injury to that ankle that's been troubling him over the past few weeks. But he came back and has been playing. Out of there, of course, on the passing down for the Seahawks. They have the 4 wide receivers in. Blitz is on, and Craig is chased out of the pocket. Down he goes. Todd Shell came from the outside, gets Craig, drops him back at the 37-yard line, and Craig is hurt. Craig is holding that right arm. That might possibly be a shoulder. Came down on the right elbow, and he is in obvious pain. Well, look at it again. Todd Shell coming from the outside. You're picking him up in your screen on the left side. Craig tried to go against the grain. Shell stretches out, drops him, and he is still holding that right arm. And so we may see the youngster Gail Gilbert, the rookie from California, yet. Fourth down, and Seattle has the ball after the loss at the 49ers 36-yard line. Binzer is on. McLemore is back. Binzer has kicked well tonight into the corners. And this one, however, gets into the end zone for the touchback, and the 49ers will have the football at the 20-yard line, and we will try to get a report on Dave Craig as quickly as possible. But on the sidelines, the rookie quarterback, Gail Gilbert, is warming up. A reminder, once again, Saturday right here on ABC, CFA college football, the 50th time Southern rivals get it on, Auburn and Alabama. And of course, Heisman Trophy hopeful Bo Jackson, with over 1,600 yards this season, will be going for Auburn. You'll see it right here on ABC Live at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Auburn against Alabama. And coverage beginning with college football today at 3. On first down, Montana goes down. Back at the 13-yard line.
Oh, I don't know how he held on to that football. Joe Nash gave him a blindside lick that most quarterbacks would have dropped the ball.
A loss of about 5. It'll be second down and 15 as Seattle records their first sack in the last 2 games. There is Gilbert. Had a great career at the University of California. Had a few injuries there, but the second leading passer in Cal's history with over 6,500 yards. Roger Craig. Craig slips and goes down at the 27-yard line. And he gets about 12 out of it and tempers Flair. Probably more from frustration on the part of the Seattle Seahawks. Kenny Easley getting into it with Dwight Clark.
Well executed draw play. San Francisco has all the weapons.
Craig makes it third down and 3. Speaking of weapons. 49ers have the football at their own 27. Third down and 3. Clark is left. Freddie Solomon is right. Draw play once again. Roger Craig has a first down near the 34-yard line. Mention the schedule for these two ball clubs this Sunday for the 49ers. They're going to be in Washington. Then Monday, December the 9th, we talked about that one. The Rams will be here. We'll bring that one to you on Monday Night Football. Then the 49ers are on the road at New Orleans, and they close at home with the Dallas Cowboys. So they can help themselves as far as wild card team contenders are concerned, Washington and Dallas. First down and 10, the 49ers at their 34-yard line. Mike Wilson in motion. Wendell Tyler, an open field in front of Tyler. And Freddie Young runs him down. Jacob Green was in on Tyler, made him reverse his field, and he turned this one into a big gainer of 29 yards.
As you can see, that's Jacob Green coming through. Wendell Tyler looking a little like Marcus Allen did in the Super Bowl in that long run he had yesterday. And you talk about Freddie Young. Now, here's one of the great athletes playing linebacker in this league today. He used to run punch back down at his college of New Mexico State. And you can see why on that play.
Dave Brown is an injured Seattle Seahawk back at the line of scrimmage. The veteran who had an interception earlier tonight. He's played so well, they are looking at his right knee.
I can't help but believe something has to be wrong with Wendell Tyler, though. I mean, if that halfback doesn't outrun the linebacker in that case, I got to believe he's hurt. He had an open field. He should have gone for 6 points that time.
He has been troubled with both a knee and an ankle. He played last week at Wendell Tyler against Kansas City. Had a 100-yard game, but you remember, Joe, 2 weeks ago against Denver, he did not play.
I'll tell you another thing. He hasn't worked a lot tonight, so if he'd have worked a little more tonight, he may be a little looser, and he may have been able to step away from Freddie Young. But once again, Freddie Young is a kid with a lot of speed and obviously a lot of determination.
They continue to look at Dave Brown. He is being assisted to his feet. And Brown goes to the sidelines. We understand that Dave Craig will probably be back. A bruised shoulder. Meanwhile, the 49ers have a first down. They're at the 37-yard line of the Seattle Seahawks.
You mentioned Dave Craig's injury. I can't help but think about our man Steve Grogan yesterday from New England who got injured. What a year he was having, and now he has to get that sprained knee and maybe out for the rest of the season. I really hate to see that.
He certainly did. He had won 6 in a row for the Patriots. 49ers, first and 10. 37-yard line of Seattle. Roger Craig spins away from Jacob Green, but he is going to be dropped for about a yard loss. And again, the kippers flare, and a flag comes down. It'll be a penalty against the Seahawks. I can't help but believe this Seahawks team is totally frustrated with what's transpired here tonight offensively.
Well, John Frank was kind of cute on that play.
Personal foul, 15-yard face mask foul on the 55 defense. First down.
55 is Michael Jackson, but John Frank, the guy he was sort of tussling with, they were trying to block each other, and at the last minute, John Frank was smart enough to throw his arms out to appear that he had nothing to do with the confrontation, and Michael Jackson was left to be the culprit. As you can see, Franks is after him. Now watch him throw his arms out. Hey, look, I'm not doing anything to you.
Well, he also had him by the face mask, and you can't do that. And that's the first down for the 49ers. They're the 22-yard line. Montana. Dwight Clark. And it's only appropriate. He breaks the all-time 49er receiving record with a touchdown catch. A typical Dwight Clark touchdown catch at 22 yards. That's his 408th reception. 4th of the night. And in 7 years, he has set a 49er reception record. This is a great catch. He works against Terry Taylor, single coverage, but he has to make that diving effort. And at 6'4", he can get there. He may not be the fastest receiver in the league, but he uses his height, and he uses the deceptive speed that he has as well as any other player of this game. Rushing for the conversion. And the 49ers stretch it out. Dwight Clark being congratulated on the sidelines. A great effort, not only by Clark, but by Montana.
Where you going, it's make alone. There's a style in your life no one could ever deny. You're on your way to the top, and along the way, you've always known just who you are. Where you're going, you've always known it.
No other beer is brewed and aged like exceptionally smooth Michelob.
Where you're going, it's Michelob.
It's easy to build a tough truck, real easy. All you gotta do is give it a 5-speed transmission, independent front suspension, steel-belted radials, welded double-wall bed, and a standard engine with power no other leading compact can beat. The hard part is doing it for a $59.99 sticker price. Only Nissan can do it. For a truck this tough, $59.99 is dirt cheap.
The name is Nissan.
When a businessman is waking up in, say, Los Angeles, his main office in New York is already well into its day. And very often there's information the main office would like men such as this to have the moment they come in. Well, now, through a modern computer innovation called telemail, they can send them that information and have them punch it right up the minute they arrive.
Gee.
No, GTE.
Dwight Clark saluting the crowd that has paid him a tremendous tribute while we were away. Now the holder of the San Francisco 49ers all-time receiving record, his 408th catch, now in his 7th year, coming on a 22-yard diving touchdown grab of a Joe Montana pass. First team kicks off. Randall Morris is back along with Paul Scansey, and Scansey will bring it out. Scansey to the 25-yard line. And we are going to see Gail Gilbert, the rookie from California, for the season. 13 of 29. He's had 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He's a free agent. 3 years he was a starter with Joe Kapp at the University of California, the second leading passer in Cal's history with over 6,500 yards. He threw 32 touchdown passes there. He also had 48 interceptions. He's 6'3", he's 215 pounds, a strong arm. And he's in for a rough time. Goodbye. Could have, should have been 6 points. Dwight Hicks stepping right in front of the intended receiver, Darrell Turner.
Well, if it was a well-thrown ball, it would have been 6 points for the 49ers. Unfortunately, it was a poorly thrown out, Joe.
One thing Gale forgot to do that time was read the coverage. I hope he doesn't make that mistake again.
Hicks was wide open.
He was.
2nd down and 10. That's Charlie Young, the tight end, on the move. This is Kurt Warner. Dragged down by Dwayne Board. Later tonight, here on ABC on Nightline, the Egypt air hijacking, the bloodiest in history. Why so many people died and whether the negotiations issue could have been handled differently. That's tonight on Nightline, following your late local news. Warner got a couple, but it leaves Gail Gilbert in a 3rd and 9. And the youngster from California will give it a try from the shotgun. The 49ers bring everyone. Gilbert gets the ball to Scansey, gets the completion, a flag goes down. Gilbert with a lot of cool back there. He was really hit after he released the ball. Scansey had 1st down yardage.
What an arm. After watching the passes Craig has been throwing for most of the night, that was sort of shocking to see how fast the ball got out there.
And there will be a personal foul tacked onto that one. Let's take a look at it again. He knew he was going to get hit, and he got hit. There's Scansey, and that's Eric Wright on the coverage. Got that hand on the face mask. So with the penalty, the Seahawks will have a 1st down in midfield.
Now, if they'd have called Dick Butkus on a penalty on a play like that, he'd have beat up the official.
Certainly chewed a thumb off or a finger or two. Seattle has been penalized 10 times tonight. 68 yards. San Francisco twice for 20 yards. Gilbert will go down at the 42-yard line. Michael Carter.
Poor Eric Lane, number 37, found himself trying to block Michael Carter at 285 pounds, and we know how strong he is, being a shot putter. He looked like he was shot putting.
We watched him develop last year. He came, of course, late because of his Olympic competition where he won the silver medal in the shot put. And he got into training camp late, but we watched him during the season. He just got better and better, and I'll tell you, by the time the Super Bowl came around, he was one of the finest football players on this team. He is powerful. Second down and 18. Gilbert, Turner underneath, and he wasn't even looking. Turner got hit by the ball on the hip. He wasn't even looking.
I'll tell you, that last play, Michael Carter just picked Blair Bush up and threw him back into the quarterback just as he released the ball.
In Seattle, when they look at the films of this game, it's going to be like a horror show.
Michael Carter, they pull off the field and they're putting Manu Tuiasosopo in the game, and Michael's wondering, why you're taking me out? I'm eating this guy up.
Third down, 18. 49ers drop into the 4-down lineman. Gilbert, Larson is there, and he comes down with the football. A first down for Seattle at the 31-yard line. Todd Shell had range down there from his linebacking position to make the stop. A 26-yard pickup. 9:20, and the clock is moving on the Seahawks. He has a strong arm, Joe.
Oh, it's a beautifully thrown pass with a lot of velocity on it. And the velocity really is what helps make this play work. Good pass protection. He has time, but that ball gets there in no time.
He put some spins on it, too, doesn't he? That's pretty. First down, Seattle, 31-yard line of the 49ers. Gilbert again, and Charlie Young comes down with a short of a first down, but inside the 25-yard line.
Fine catch by the veteran Charlie Young in his 13th season out of Southern Cal.
He's been around. He was with Chuck Knox when Knox was with the Rams back in the 70s. I think you were there with him together.
Yeah, Charlie has over 400 receptions, which is pretty good for a tight end. Of course, most of those receptions in his big years were when he first came out of USC and went to Philadelphia. He was an all-pro back there.
He had 59 receptions 1 year with the Eagles. Moved around, went to the Rams, went to the 49ers, as a matter of fact. Winding down a career now with Seattle. Second down and 2. Eric Lane trying to work for the first down. I don't think he picked it up. Hit at the line of scrimmage. Surged for about a half a yard. It'll be third down and almost 2.
You mentioned Charlie with the 49ers. He was on that 49er team that won the Super Bowl back in '81.
Yeah, I had a big catch on the final drive to ice that game. You know, Joe, when you're 3 touchdowns down, really 19 points, and you have to score 3 touchdowns, I think I would abandon. You'll never hear me say this again. I would abandon the run and just start throwing the football. 8 minutes to go in the game.
8:15 remaining in the game, and the clock is moving. Well, Charlie Young and young Gail Gilbert did not have things smoothed out too well. Young went outside, Gilbert threw it inside, and it will bring up fourth down. And the 4 wide receivers will come in for Seattle. Maybe the 49ers schedule a moment ago. The Sunday for Seattle, December the 1st, they'll have Kansas City at home. Then they play Cleveland at home. Then they're at Los Angeles for the Raiders. And then their final game will be against Denver at home. Fourth and a long 2. Gilbert. And would you believe that Larson doesn't hold on? A sure-handed one. He had the first down. Gilbert had the ball there. And the offensive unit of the Seahawks are snake bit tonight.
Yeah.
8:01 remaining in the game, and the 49ers get the football back. They'll have it at their 23-yard line, and they lead 19-0.
This is Road Atlanta, where Nissan won its 50th National SCCA Championship. The man who did it, Paul Newman, driving his Bob Sharp Racing prepared 300ZX Turbo. Newman, veteran actor and now veteran driver, led from start to finish to win his 3rd national championship. Nissan's 50th, more than any other manufacturer. Our congratulations to Paul Newman and Bob Sharp Racing for a job well done. For championship performance, the name is Nissan.
Excuse me, any Christmas
Christmas gifts under $10? Our Ace November Best Buys. This Chicago Cutlery Gourmet knife set is only $9.77. What a bargain.
And these Noma 100 mini light sets are just $4.44.
Oh, I'll take 2. Or the Coffee at a Touch thermal carafe, just $9.77. Great idea.
There are lots more great ideas in the Ace $1 billion celebration circular.
I've got a long list, and Ace is the place.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware man.
Golden champagne, chilled.
I've got a passion for gold. So cold, so light. It's right for the day as it is for the night. Gold, gold, gold. I've got a passion for gold.
New Almaden Golden Champagne. I'm impressed.
12 wins, no losses. The dream team of '85. The awesome Chicago Bears want to keep their perfect season rolling. Miami is fighting to stay in the playoff hunt. The matchup next week on Monday Night Football.
There is an interesting graphic for you. And on Monday Night Football, this will be the 8th straight home team that has won. 49ers first down and 10, the ball at their own 23-yard line. 8:01 remaining in the game, and the 49ers in control. They lead 19-0. Wendell Tyler to the 35-yard line, another 49er first down.
Well, here in the second half, Wendell's doing a good job on his statistics. As you know, both Wendell and Craig are both nearing that 1,000-yard plateau. It's only been done a couple of times in the NFL. I think Larry Zonk and Mercury Morris did it one year, and Franco Harris and Rocky Blyer did it one year, and it looks like the 49ers might have a pair of 1,000-yard rushers in their backfield.
More than that, they're both averaging over 5 yards in the 10th. Easily on the blitz, they pick it up. And Montana gets the ball to Roger Craig. And Craig has another 49er first down, stepping out of bounds at the 47-yard line.
And here's a guy who's almost a cinch to add 1,000 yards receiving also to those 2,000-yard rushing guys in the backfield, and that's Fred Quillen,
their center. And they are looking at Fred Quillen's left knee. Pro Bowl last year, as was Randy Cross and Keith Barnhart to that offensive line of the 49ers.
That'd be a tough loss.
Craig, thus far on the night, yards from scrimmage. He's carried the ball 10 times for 48 yards. He's had 4 receptions for 66 yards. That's 114 yards combined with Marcus Allen, with whom he was tied through the 11th week, at 222 yards yesterday. Chicago Bears and the Miami Dolphins. The Bears, of course, undefeated going in to play the Miami Dolphins. That should be a very interesting football game.
Well, this is going to be interesting. If Quillen goes out, it looks like I think they'll move Randy Cross to center. Randy Cross was a center with this 49er team when he came out at UCLA. He had All-Pro written all over him. And they'll, I guess, move the original, the guy who originated the refrigerator, really, at fullback, Guy McIntyre, who used to line up in the backfield last year for this 49er team. He's number 62. They'll move him into Randy Cross's position at guard.
Meanwhile, Fred Quillen is being taken from the field. We'll try to get a report for you on the condition of Fred Quillen. They were looking at the left knee.
Well, we're talking about centers as well. Miami happens to have the best in all of football, which could have a key bearing against the Chicago defense next week. One of the keys to that Chicago defense is singling up that center and trying to beat him most of the time, but they're not going to beat Dwight Stevenson.
49ers first and 10 at their own 48. Roger Craig tries to work outside. Good defensive effort. Keith Butler drops Craig at the line of scrimmage.
Well, I can just hear Steve McMichael and those Bears right now saying, yeah, sure, we'll see. We'll get after Dwight Stevenson and the rest of that line down there.
Yeah, I was going to say you can't tell Michael Carter you can't do a job on Dwight Stevenson.
That's right. Well, every player in professional football gets had once in a while, but Dwight is the best in the game.
I agree with that. He's the best I've seen.
Clock is moving with less than 7 minutes to play in the game. Second down and 10. Roger Craig dancing and spinning that high step of his. He'll get 3 yards out of it. He'll get 4, as a matter of fact, but it'll still leave the 49ers with a 3rd down and 7. Michael Jackson defensively there on Craig. Craig, by the way, through 11 games, led the NFL with 12 touchdowns. He was 1 touchdown away coming into tonight from the 49er record held by Joe Perry.
Joe the Jet.
That's what going back all the way into the 50s. When they had some great running backs, and Hugh McElhaney and Joe Perry, John Henry Johnson.
I saw them all.
I'm sure you did. Did you used to work at Kezar Stadium, O.J., when they were playing?
Good little hustle.
Incomplete, intended for Dwight Clark, and the punting unit will come on for the 49ers.
Unusual for Dwight. He ran a pattern that was 2 yards short of the 1st down.
Plus, he and Joe didn't hook up. They were on different pages that time. Dwight read the coverage and tried to hook him between the outside defender and the inside man, and Joe thought he was going to keep going out.
It's funny to think of all the 49er all-time greats and to think that Dwight Clark is now the all-time top receiver. I'll tell you a little story about Dwight in a minute.
Runninger hangs it up. And it carries into the end zone for the touchback. And Seattle will get the football back at the 20-yard line. Runninger unhappy with that one. He had it up high. Perhaps he thought he should have got the coverage. He did not get it. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any broadcast or other use of this telecast without the expressed written consent of the National Football League is prohibited. Gail Gilbert, the rookie from California, stays on. Again, Dave Craig, bruised shoulder. From the shotgun. 4 wide receivers in the lineup. Gilbert gets the ball to Turner. Well thrown ball, and Turner will have a 1st down out over the 30 to the 32-yard line.
Well, maybe it's just Monday night. This is the 2nd week in a row we've seen an inexperienced backup quarterback. There's Jay Schrader last week coming to a game and just looked phenomenal.
That's true, because really backup quarterbacks, they don't get much time to practice in the NFL.
Seattle only has 1 timeout, so they go with the hurry-up offense. And this is Byron Walker. Byron Walker works up to the 40-yard line for a gain of 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4. 49ers in a deep prevent defense. They have 6 defensive backs out there. They're bringing a 4-man rush. Largent has a 1st down over the 45-yard line as Gilbert continues to go underneath.
Now we know the 49ers are playing some type of prevent defense, so don't think Chuck Knox made a mistake by not bringing this guy in the game earlier. Well, he might have anyway, but the reason this guy is having so much success now is the 49ers are just sitting back.
Flags are down. Contact had been made. 2 of the 49ers had moved into the neutral zone. The 49ers are complaining that they were drawn offsides. Ball start, number 65, offense. And such was the case. Ed Bailey, the left guard, pulling one of the Niners offsides, and he is complaining bitterly that that was not the case.
You know, O.J., what you're saying is so true about these prevent defenses. They really show you that statistics don't make a great deal of difference. People put too much stock in statistics. Here's a team that dominated this game now, but meantime they're going to give up some yardage here, and people are going to turn around and say, yeah, but their pass defense isn't that good. Look how much yardage they gave up. But it's the kind of yardage they can afford to give up now. So statistics don't always tell the truth.
1st down and 15. The Seahawks from their own 43-yard line. Gilbert trying to get a big one to Turner. Picked off by McLemore. Dana McLemore comes down with it in a duel with Darrell Turner. And the 49ers, Seattle with 1 timeout, have this one pretty much in the bank.
I'll tell you one thing, interception or not, this kid has an arm. He threw that ball like he was throwing an out. He threw it about 55, 60 yards.
Free agent from California. Good, strong arm. We knew that. Joe and I watched him, O.J., during the warm-up, and Joe was giving him a lot of oohs and ahs.
Not quite the same passing motion as Joe Cap used to have, but I'm sure Joe did a good job coaching him.
Joe Cap is yet to see his first spiral.
That was truly a winner.
But he would beat you in so anyways, wouldn't he? Roger Craig once again on the left side. Let's take a look at the updated standings. 49ers with the victory will still trail the Rams by a couple. They have one game remaining with the Rams, December the 9th, and we'll bring you that telecast. And there's the AFC West. Seattle could best afford to lose this game. They, however, now will drop 2 behind Denver and the Raiders. And they have a game with both the Raiders and the Broncos remaining. Montana, Roger Craig.
Good move
at
by
the 16-yard line.
Good move by Roger. He realized he was about to go out of bounds, and he wants to stay in bounds to keep that clock moving, so he tried to cut back, and he stayed in bounds. What I was going to say about Dwight Clark, now that he's the 49ers all-time receiver, is last year he was a rookie. He was a 10th-round draft choice, and at the end of the training camp, it came down between him and another young receiver named Terry LeCount. Now, Terry had made some big plays in the preseason, and everyone on the team thought Terry LeCount should make the team, and maybe Dwight Clark would get hit and be redshirted some way. Well, Bill Walsh thought differently, and it turns out that Bill Walsh is a better coach than most of us.
Roger Craig holds on, and he'll have another 49er first down as the flag comes in late. Craig over the 20-yard line as Montana is now 17 of 33 for 230 yards. Montana started very slowly, as you see the penalty indicated against the 49ers. Montana started very slowly tonight, but he put it together late in the second quarter. Two minutes and 34 seconds remaining.
85 offense, still third down.
Mike Wilson is the guilty 49er. And a 49er first down will be negated. '49ers, as I mentioned earlier, are also going to be able to help themselves in the wild card department. Washington and Dallas, of course, strong wild card contenders, and of course, still alive in their own division, but the 49ers will play Washington and Dallas. This is Wendell Tyler. And he is hit at the 10-yard line, gets to about the 11-yard line, and it'll be fourth down, and the punting unit will come on. But we will also get the 2-minute warning before we get the 49er punt. There it is, 2 minutes remaining between the 49ers and the Seahawks. The 49ers have it wrapped up at 19-0.
Sometimes I miss my girl so bad. I jump inside my Nissan King Cab. Across the hills, I take the shortcut into town. My King Cab's tough as any truck around.
Hey, Bobby, how about a lift? No room. Your Nissan King Cab's got plenty of room.
Sometimes there's just too much room in a Nissan King Cab. For the #1 selling extended cab compact, the name is Nissan.
Norelco says they challenge every shaving instrument ever made. The rotary shaver from Ronson challenges Norelco for much less. Remington's president was so excited that he bought the company. Now you can get excited. The microfoil shaver from Ronson for much less. Introducing the Ronson shaving system with quality and performance and a money-back guarantee to prove it. The Ronson shaving system. Why pay an arm and a leg when all you really want is a close shave?
Do I hear 3800? Santa Fe?
AT&T is in antiques. With AT&T Alliance Teleconferencing Service, an antique dealer can easily hold an auction with clients all over the country at the same time, as clear as if they're in the same room.
All right, Chicago, it's yours. Now,
Another reason to choose AT&T long-distance services. Talk with us. AT&T, the right choice.
That was the New England Patriots back in 1982. Chuck Knox, however, was not the head coach of Seattle. This is Chuck's third year as head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. 4th down, and Runninger on to punt for the 49ers. Paul Scansey is back. Blocked. And the Seahawks will not be shut out. Sam Merriman blocked it, and Sam Merriman also recovered it. So the Seahawks will not be shut out. 1:55 remaining in the game, and we're about to see an onside kick. There is the block by Merriman. He covers it in the end zone. We'll have the conversion attempt, and then I'm quite certain that we will see the onside kick by Seattle. Norm Johnson is on for the conversion. Good effort there by Merriman. Came right up the gut. And the conversion is blocked. You block mine, I'll block yours, and it was big Michael Carter. Michael Carter is turning into one major force defensively. On the end zone, right in the middle of your screen is big number 95. I think it was 95 that got the hand on it.
Yep, he got the penetration.
You betcha. He got the penetration, and the big right paw sticks up there. Blocks the conversion. So we have a 19-6 game. The 49ers on the sideline, their special team. They know they're going to get the onside kick. They just don't know which kind it's going to be. Onside kicks have really started to proliferate in the National Football League this year. We saw 2 last week. Successful ones by the Washington Redskins in their win over the Giants. But the ones that are anticipated, 19% of those are pulled off. The surprise onside kicks, and that's why I think we're seeing more of it. Well, they have been 83% successful this season. We'll be looking for one in a moment. The ball has to travel 10 yards before the kicking team can cover it. Now, this is a very interesting lineup. We're going to leave this wide because we've seen some strange things happen tonight. There are 8 Seattle Seahawks way back at the 20-yard line. Now, they're going to start running so they can get a full sprint. They are going to be traveling at full speed just as Norm Johnson hits the ball. 49ers covered, but that was really cute. Jerry Rice covered it, and I wonder what he was thinking. That sounded like a herd of buffalo bearing down on him.
It's a good play by Jerry Rice. It was not an easy bounce on this ball. Bounced right into his chest.
A cavalry charge. The idea is to have those men with full speed so that they can cover that 10 yards as quickly as possible. 49ers, however, cover it. They're at the 47-yard line of the Seahawks. Seattle has one timeout. Montana. He started out shaky tonight, but it has become a very respectable game. For the all-time NFL leading quarterback. That's Roger Craig, top rated in the history of this game. Joe Montana. This ABC Sports exclusive has been brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. And by Nissan, builders of technologically advanced cars and trucks for over 50 years. And by AT&T. In long-distance services, information systems, telephones and computers, AT&T is the right choice. The executive producer of ABC Sports is Roone Arledge. ABC's NFL Monday Night Football, produced by Bob Goodrich, directed by Chet Forty. Technical director Joe Chabot. Associate director is Vince D'Addario. Technical manager Bill Freeberger. Our unit manager Marshall Lopez. Telecommunications manager Gary Reuter. Assistants to the producer Amy Smolens and Chaz Wiseman. Stats and graphics and research by Mr. Univac himself, Steve Hurt. Our statistician Joe Cox. Booth assistant Lisa Conroy. Computer and graphics Robbie Clarick. And of course Steve Bazika, our spotter. Huey Lewis, very popular artist and a 49er fan. That's Mo Gibson on his left. Huey Lewis sang the national anthem tonight. That's Derek Harmon, and a flag comes down late as Harmon works hard for about 3 yards.
Well, Harmon is in the game because Roger Craig got dinged on the play before that. Rogers had an excellent game. He caught 5 passes for 72 yards. That puts him over 800 yards on receptions, and he ran the ball 15 times for about 55 yards. So he's right on beam to go over 1,000 yards in both rushing and receiving, which would be quite a feat.
Boy, they got a gem. As a second-round draft pick in '83, and Roger Craig. That first year, he gained over 700 yards rushing. Had 48 receptions last year. Just under 700 yards rushing, but he had 71 receptions.
Illegal use of the hands. Number 81, offense.
Russ Francis, the illegal use of the hands for the 49ers with 1:38 remaining in the game.
It's an easy one to call. They'll decline that.
Of course, they want to use the down. They don't need the yardage. Seattle has no more timeouts, so they can't stop it. They will be going back to Seattle, licking their wounds. They have Kansas City at home this coming Sunday, then Cleveland at home. Then the Raiders in Los Angeles, and their final game will be Denver in Seattle. And we'll be bringing you that game. 3rd down and 6. That'll be a Friday night telecast, by the way, Denver, Seattle. That was almost picked off. I don't believe the play. Terry Taylor stepping in front of Mike Wilson. What are they doing throwing the football? Flag is down again. This game has not been a thing of beauty to watch.
Holding, number 22, defense, automatic first down.
Dave Brown holding for Seattle. So it'll be an automatic first down for the 49ers at the 38-yard line of Seattle. How do you explain that? I can't figure this out. What are they doing passing the football at this stage of the game? Looking for the first down. Good grief. 38-yard line. 1st and 10, the 49ers. Wendell Tyler. Slips out to the right. You heard it all the way up here through our headsets. Violent collision as Tyler gets a couple of yards.
Yeah, Wendell gets dinged now. Not only Wendell, but the man who tackled him appears as if he's dinged.
That was some collision. Still have not been able to identify the Seahawk who is down and is staying down. That's Terry Taylor, the cornerback, has played a fine game defensively for the Seahawks. Matter of fact, the defensive unit of the Seahawks have played well tonight. They just have had no support from their offense. They really have played well, giving up only 19 points to a team that is fine an offensive unit, the San Francisco 49er team. Well, that's a tribute to their defense. Plus, their offense didn't do anything all night, the Seattle's offense, so could never get them out of trouble. Defense was always coming onto the field at midfield or deep in their own territory. Second down and 9. Montana, very respectable at 16 of 32, 232 yards, a couple of touchdowns and 3 interceptions. The 3 interceptions, however, well, that was a bit of a stunner. Montana ended tonight, only had 6 interceptions on the season. The low in the NFL. He picked up 3 quick ones tonight. That's Kenny O'Brien from the Jets is low right now with interceptions in the league. Kenny O'Brien also maintained his top ranking in the NFL through 12 games. Second down and 9. The 49ers can run it out. They'll need one more snap. And for Dave Craig, a really, really tough night. He was 11 of 30, 139 yards, 1 interception. The offensive unit for the Seahawks totally inept. They'll fall to 2 games behind Denver and the Raiders, teams that still remain to be played on their schedule. And we'll be bringing you a beauty next Monday night from Miami. Undefeated Chicago Bears and the Miami Dolphins. Oh. The flag is down.
Defensive foul. The ball game is over.
Yeah. Defensive foul, and the ball game is history. It ends just about like it was played.
Who'd ever think you'd be the one to make my day? And that debate was truly great to come my way. I remember the vibe telling me to let it be